This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by NHLSeattle.com. We're looking at scattered showers today. It's going to be a tad warmer with highs in the upper 50s, and it's currently 40 in downtown Seattle. The next great moment in Seattle sports history is about to happen, and this is one you won't want to miss. Submit a deposit for ticket priority to be an NHL seat holder today. Go to NHLSeattle.com and be a part of Seattle sports history. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Shh, don't say anything. It is 5:45. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
How are you?
That's a great looking shirt. Who you got on this morning?
I got Keith Richards.
Right on.
Keith Richards, who told Mick Jagger. Did you see this?
Oh, this is huge news today.
Oh, this you have? You're going to do it?
Oh, yeah.
You know
Talk
what?
about
Here's
it
the
if you
thing.
want.
He said something bad about Mick Jagger that wasn't bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was nothing. It's just a joke. And I don't know what happened if Mick said something where he went crazy saying he was sorry, and I didn't feel he needed to in any way. And why is a 77-year-old man apologizing to a 75-year-old man making babies, saying maybe it's a good idea to have a vasectomy? I don't
think
get
the
it.
plan is to make Grumpier Old Men Part 5.
It is unbelievable. In his book, in Keith Richards' book, he talks about he and Ron Wood would want to mock Mick Jagger, so they'd call him Brenda. And
But
they
not
would-
to his face.
No,
right?
yes. They call him Brenda right to his face in the sense of like, say I want to make fun of Sarah,
Yeah.
but I don't want her to know I'm making fun of her. And we all know that she's Steve. Man, does Steve suck. If you talk to Steve
Right,
lately,
yeah,
Steve's a jerk face McGee. And then Sarah would hopefully then go, who's Steve? And we'd laugh.
Right.
So that's what it was.
Brenda.
So the reason I said don't say anything this morning is you'd think I would learn from mistakes that I've made in the past, but apparently I have not. Amy was just sitting there minding her own business, doing nothing. Sometimes in the middle of our day, like once I come home from work, she's off the treadmill or whatever it is, she'll go and dry her hair and do her makeup, and even we're not going anywhere, but chicks, right? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So because chicks, and so she turned to me, and I noticed a new look of some kind, and stared, and she, she's caught my gaze, and obviously something has happened. She goes, realizing this is not going to go great for anybody. She says, "What?" Now, right there, you should say nothing.
I love you,
Yeah,
Ben.
startled by your beauty.
Yeah,
possibly.
absolutely.
You should
That's a
see
great
the
one.
the way the light is hitting your hair.
Can I use both of those?
Man, yes, you may. But I didn't do that. I said, well, and this little chuckle right here tells you I'm already in trouble because no matter what I say, I'm looking at a girl and I'm doing this. Well, that's it. It's over. The fat lady has sung. And by the way, probably don't bring up fat ladies. So I look at her and she says, what? And I said, nothing. You look different. Now, I haven't even started to scramble to get out of this yet because I don't know how much trouble I'm going to be in because it's up to me to stop talking. If I just stop talking, I'm kind of out. She can say what as many times as she wants, and then nothing. It's your beauty. The sun's hitting your face, whatever. But I'm looking at her and I say, "Is that a new shade of lipstick?" Because it's like this flat, and I don't even know if I'm describing it. Kind of this flat or muted purple.
Oh.
But really flat, muted purple. And I said, "Well, it's a very interesting shade of lipstick you got there."
Very interesting.
And it gets worse. Hang on, because I decided comedy is my way out. And, no, it wasn't.
Because so far she looks different and interesting.
Yeah. Well, then we just get into. She said, "Don't you like it?" I said, "New color. It's flat purple, whatever it is. It's got some kind of name." And I said, "Oh, that's right. I have seen it before. I met this girl in Tijuana. She was working." So I have now said you look like a Tijuana hooker, and that I expected a couple chuckles there. I don't know why I thought that, but I really did.
Even when you don't want your husband to talk about the prostitutes he's visited.
Yeah, well, you can meet one without visiting them, Sarah. They're everywhere in Tijuana. A lot of them aren't even girls. So I'm still staring at her. And it's what? She goes, "Well, I think you didn't do your eyebrows quite the way you wanted to." There's her eyebrow, which is perfect. And then there's like extra line, like a little piece of the pencil broke off or something. And it's like, it's totally something if somebody's doing, you'd say, "Hey man, do this, your lips should do this," that if it's a thing.
But you guys aren't leaving the house. You're not going out. It's not like she would be upset if she noticed later.
No, she was leaving the house. She had stuff to do.
Okay.
I think she even went to the mall.
So really, you're doing her a favor at this point.
Yeah, because you got, I would essentially say if it were a booger, I'd say, "Hey, you want to do this?"
Yeah.
A little booger. But it's a perfectly done eyebrow, and then this little line that looks like she broke the eyebrow pencil. And her eyebrows are not perfect, but she can't do anything to her eyebrows. They're called bladed eyebrows or etched eyebrows, microbladed eyebrows. That's what they are. They're not even really eyebrows. They're etched with razor blades. They're drawn into her face. They're essentially a tattoo. They're perfect when she wakes up. Good on it. By the way, $380 really well spent. These eyebrows are wonderful all the time. She never spends any time doing her eyebrows. Or so I thought.
Until yesterday.
So it turns out, I said, "Well, you broke off a little piece of the pencil." And oddly enough, not learning anything, you did it on the other eyebrow as well. That's super weird. And I lick my thumb. And I reach for her eyebrow.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. And apparently that's not what's happening there. And she said, "I did that on purpose. I drew that there." And "Why are you doing that? Didn't we pay good money for the eyebrow?" "It's the thing. It's the new thing." And I said, I'm on the radio. We discuss new things.
Yeah.
Nobody told me the extra eye, because it's literally 1/8 of an inch away from her other eyebrow.
And in the middle.
It's, yeah.
Or is it towards the outside?
No, it's towards the middle, but not enough we'd go, "Hey, why are you doing that on your nose?" It just looks like she did her eyebrows wrong. So after the Tijuana hooker comment and the eyebrows are wrong and then trying to lick her eyebrow, I decided I should get out of this. So, man, this is bad. You're just going to wonder if we can ever be friends again. So I said, "Boy, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You look beautiful. I'm really sorry." And she said, "Okay." And I said, "You'd think you'd learned. One day, God, 20 years ago, I'm right there. I know where this is going. This is going to somebody else. This is a very stupid thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ah, you're drowning." And I did it. I said, I came home from work one time, and there was Gretchen, my ex, doing whatever she read in some magazine might be sexy. I walked in the door and I said, "Hey." And she goes, "Hey." I'm saying, she goes, "Hey." And she opens the trench coat, and she's wearing really super sexy lingerie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something I have actually asked her to do. Oh, God, I'm getting mad at myself. But I didn't mean any harm, man. So she takes off the trench coat and starts parading around like a dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I don't know if she's making that noise, but you know what I'm saying. She's parading around being sexy for me, and a thing that I have kind of asked her that she should do, "Why don't you dress up in some sexy lingerie?" And then she turns around. Oh, man, to do a sexy pose. She's about 5'5" and 94 pounds. Makes great pleasure in telling me she's 94 pounds. Not like a weight I'm guessing at. She's 5'5" and 94 pounds. What that does is that gives you no butt whatsoever. So she's got a super sexy pair of underwears on it. They're just hanging off the butt. They kind of, to be honest, and this is what I said, except the more graphic things, it looks like she had an accident in her baggy little drawers.
Aww.
So I laughed at her in her baggy little drawers, and she cried. And I just ran off the semi-naked lady in her underwear. This is not going my way at all. And what do I do? 20 years later, I talked to my wife, who I love and adore, whose opinion I admire and happiness I long for. I say, "Oh, those lips are wonderful. I saw them once on the Tijuana hooker." So it didn't go that well.
Seattle police are looking for the 26-year-old man who they believe threatened to harm someone at Meany Middle School in Capitol Hill.
Maybe they shouldn't call it meanie.
Good point.
No, I mean, what do you say to a guy that threatens to you meanie? Totally. Let's change that to nice guy school.
Leonardo Riviera allegedly walked up to Meany Middle School on Monday, said he had a knife, and then imitated a gun with his hand. School security were able to take Riviera off the property. Students then said that they had noticed his weird behavior, and police are now looking for him.
Why would you chase that guy off the property?
As in not have him taken into
Why would
custody.
you not arrest him right there? Call the police threats with a gun, threats with a knife at a school. I mean, that's
didn't
just
have a
the
gun.
thing.
He made this
right,
motion
but
with his
that's
finger.
But I mean, there are kids, children going to jail for threatening guns at a school, the making the school thing, or the slash across the neck kind of thing.
Right.
Somebody, and here's what's going to happen: if that guy does anything, they're going to say you were warned. He came here and said I had a knife, and you did nothing. That you guys should have grabbed him.
Well, anyone with information about Riviera's location is asked to call police immediately.
But they know his name. They know who he is. They just
He's
don't
just
know where
missing.
he is.
Yep.
I'd check the Riviera. That's where I'd hide. You named it after the place.
He seems very confused. You know, I have a knife, and then he holds his fingers up. Bang,
Yeah.
bang.
If
That's
not
not how it
security, it's like
works.
that's not how you use a knife. What's wrong with you? That's a knife.
I keep seeing it must be some sort of ad campaign, or it's something travel and food related that they're talking about the Riviera of the West Coast. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, it's in Santa Barbara. It starts in Santa Barbara.
And I think there must be doing some sort of advertising campaign to try to get people to go to the Riviera. Is it worth going to that Riviera, or should I go to the real one?
Oh, no, for the price that you'd save, go to the Santa Barbara one. It's
Right
gorgeous.
on.
If you were out on a boat looking back and saying, that's gorgeous, and you were picking the French Riviera, the Mayan Riviera, or the Santa Barbara Riviera, the most beautiful is maybe the West Coast of California Riviera. Although and the weather's going to be best there.
Nice. Police are looking for two women who are wanted in the assault of a man and the theft of his bicycle yesterday near the Ballard Library. The 43-year-old man was walking his bike on 22nd Avenue Northwest. He went by three people who asked him about his brown Kona 38 speed bike, at which point then another man hit him in the head with a pipe. The bike owner responded with pepper spray, then ran to a store to call 911. Officers arrested the 29-year-old who had the pipe and booked him into jail, but they couldn't find the two women or the bike.
What two women?
It was three people. One of them was a man. Two were women. The man
okay.
struck him over the head with
The
the
two girls
pipe.
did.
The two women
Took
then
off with the bike.
ran away
Okay.
with the bike. So
That's
three
no
people,
problems.
one man, two women. The women are gone. One woman they say is 5'5" and weighs 350 pounds.
Well, where'd she go?
Not on the bike.
The other woman was wearing pajamas.
I think it should be easier to find these guys.
Starbucks is at it again. They've now opened their first ever Reserve store in the Sodo neighborhood. This is located on the street level of the Starbucks headquarters. And
That's the fancy one, right?
the Reserve?
Yeah.
The Reserve is the fancy one. They've got one of the fancy ones on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
They said they're going to be opening up more standalone fancy ones and the bakeries as well, who make all their cakes and sandwiches and stuff like that. So that's Princey. They said they're going to be opening up one of those. It's a standalone, but right now, I think you just said you and Amy went there to the Starbucks location by accident.
We went to the headquarters by accident, which does not contain a Starbucks.
Until now.
Right. They're building it at that time.
Yeah, so if you go in there, you'll be able to get some of the fancy stuff like the spiced ginger cold brew on tap or the nitro draft latte.
It's super not convenient, to be honest with you.
Down in Sodo?
Yeah,
For you?
maybe that. No. I don't mean because of the distance I live from the house. I mean the distance from the parking lot. You go in the parking lot. There's two major entrances on this building. Only one of them's right, and there's no clear markage. Maybe there is now, but it's quite the to do. One of the things about a Starbucks is you run in and you get something exceptional. I'm a big fan. I don't go there a lot, but when I go there, I get something neat that's got the word brulee in it. You know what the hell? But if it takes me over 4 minutes, it is not the Starbucks experience that I'm used to.
Seems like a ton of people work in that building. It was surprising to me that they didn't already have a Starbucks
Me
there.
too.
Well, they have these fancy ones, and the reason you go into those is not to be quick. You go in for
Right, to lounge.
scale coffee experience. And sometimes that involves a coffee, like a pour over that takes 10 minutes for your coffee to be ready.
Nope.
And people sit there and watch it.
Nope.
When I went to the fancy one down at Pike Place Market, it was packed. And not the first location that's always packed with tourists.
Right.
It was packed with people spending $10 on a coffee drink.
What? And I didn't know there was a fancy one there. I knew there was the first Starbucks ever.
Yep, that's there. There's a fancy one. There's a fancy one in Capitol Hill. Same thing, packed all the time.
Yeah, it just seems very weird that anybody's even going. Anybody that isn't going for the entertainment of the market. You know, the market. There's a lot of stuff. I guess a fancy Starbucks would be all right.
A Georgia teacher fired a gun inside of a classroom yesterday and barricaded himself inside before police were able to take him into custody. Police say Dalton High School history teacher Jesse Davidson was locked in the classroom for about 30 minutes before being arrested. Thankfully, there were no students inside. He did fire a gun. When police were able to get into the classroom, they recovered the handgun, and he is now in custody. He is 53 years old. He was also the play-by-play announcer for the high school football team, had worked at the school for a long time, and kids loved him.
Wow.
No idea what went wrong.
He takes out the gun. He cocks it back. He looks. He shoots. That's me.
They say
reenacting.
Dalton is the carpet capital of the world. That's what they call it.
Really, the carpet capital of the world.
And much of the carpet for the United States and the world is produced within a 25-mile radius of this city.
Not just carpet, it's a big flooring town. My wife's been there several times.
Seriously?
Yeah, because that's what she does. Is she does marketing and sales for a flooring company, and she's been to Dalton, Georgia on several occasions.
That's so bizarre.
So your wife is one of the few people that you can actually say, "I'd like the floor to match the drapes," and she has to answer.
Yeah, I think that's
Bitch,
correct.
that's worth doing.
Donald Trump has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Or has he?
I'm guessing no.
Well, the Norwegian committee is filing a police report. They believe that he was nominated and it was fraudulent. Now, the nomination's real, as in someone nominated him, but they say that that was fraudulent. And what they're trying to figure out is who did this and why.
Can
Oh,
anybody do it?
Yeah, can I nominate him?
Well, in this case, I don't know a lot about the process, how you do it, but what they're saying is that this was an anonymous American who nominated President Trump for his ideology of peace by force.
Yeah.
And the wording of it, they believe, makes it a joke, fake. So according to Olav Nostad, I can say we have good reason to believe the nomination of Donald Trump is fake. This is probably the same fake nomination that took place last year, too. Now, if you wanted to nominate somebody, you must do so by January 31st. The winner is then announced in October.
Why would the Nords be all weird like this? I mean, that's the one country he seems to like. Everybody else is a crap hole.
That doesn't mean that they love him.
Yeah, I bet they love him back. They're Nords.
But to nominate someone's for the peace by force,
Yeah.
it's just the wording it sounds like shenanigans. Now, in 2009, only a year into his term, President Barack Obama won a Nobel Peace Prize for his, quote, extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. That's what he was nominated on. So that there's just an investigation now trying to figure out who falsified this, who are they, and why.
Yeah,
And
that's really odd.
it's not open to anyone, so only select people can nominate someone for a Nobel Prize. And it's like heads of government, heads of universities, stuff like that. Probably business figures that are, of note.
So then I understand
That's
how
not a-
they even think it's a credible nomination. You'd know exactly who nominated him.
Yeah, so in fact, the committee sends out invitations to people and organizations asking for nominations. But
I'm guessing it wasn't really nominated.
Yeah.
Hey, let's nominate Dix.
yeah, we should.
Is Dick still alive? Let's nominate Dick.
No.
Derek told us yesterday he is no longer with us.
Dick sadly
Because I think that was a big move on Dick's part.
Well, Walmart is following suit. Are changing their policies as well. So a lot of people, as you said, backing them, and a lot of people are not. Not everybody's happy about
Right.
the move made by Dick's yesterday about raising the age limit for buying guns and stopping the sale of assault rifles. But Walmart says that they will be following suit. And
Yeah, and now, the companies, this is where the future of America lies, my friends. and that is that 20 companies that I recognize and have done business with say they have arrangements with the NRA where you can fly cheaper, you can stay cheaper, you can eat cheaper, and they took that off the table, man. So I think we're in for a reckoning.
We might be in for a reckoning, but right now you're in for a chance to win a trip to Los Angeles. So
Well said.
White House Communications Director Hope Hicks announced yesterday she is going to be resigning. She is 29 years old, made the sudden announcement a day after she testified before the House Intelligence Committee, the ones investigating the Russian meddling in the presidential election. She refused to answer questions about her time in the White House or the transition, but she did admit to telling white lies on the behalf of President Trump.
I don't know that you can do that when you're not 9.
right.
I told lies, but they're white lies.
Little fibs,
First of all, I'm not sure it's not racist.
white lies.
Yeah, I told a bunch of white lies.
She's a former model. She has no experience in politics and had been considered one of Donald Trump's most trusted and loyal aides. We don't know what she will be doing next or...
Playboy.
She's a very attractive woman.
No, I wouldn't just say that in this particular environment in which we live. I don't know what she said, but I know they made an offer immediately.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Not surprised. I'm sure that, who's the big porn company? They
Vivid.
Yeah, Vivid usually reaches out to people too and said, hey, I want to do a porn. They all say no. Well, they said she, answered all these questions and afterwards she's like, yeah, I'm out of here. And Donald Trump, when she left, when people leave his office, he doesn't always say nice things about them. He did. When she announced her resignation, Donald Trump said she's as smart and thoughtful as they come, a truly great person. I will miss having her by my side. She will be exploring other opportunities.
Another lady who resigned would be, or claims to have resigned, some people say she was fired as Omarosa.
Right.
Yeah.
And she goes right to Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot right there. And says crazy, wacky things again. That woman's trouble.
She is starting to really say a lot of negative stuff about Donald Trump, and that can't make him very happy.
Nope.
Despite knowing the risks, Mom continues to smoke while pregnant. The latest studies from the CDC show that 1 in 14 women who gave birth admitted to smoking while pregnant.
That's chicks that already smoked, though, right?
I don't think you pick it up.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of stress involved in carrying a baby.
Women aged 20 to 24 were the most likely to smoke during their pregnancy at 10%.
Jeez.
Women over 45 were least likely at 2%. At 12.2%, the odds of smoking were highest among women with a high school diploma or GED. If you had a master's degree, you were less likely to smoke, only 0.4%.
I got to go with duh on that one.
Yeah.
According to the CDC, this isn't like having a tiny sip of alcohol. This isn't occasionally having a cup of coffee. They said no amount of smoking is recommended. 0.
Yeah. I don't know that anybody recommends smoking. Hey, you know what would help you? Oh, just like 2 Marlboros. Then you'd be fine.
There are some studies that show nicotine can be helpful in relieving pains. They can be good for some diseases. Not smoking when you're pregnant. That doesn't do any good for your little baby. An Arizona woman is facing charges after she allegedly attacked a man with her stiletto, her high heel.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. She stabbed a guy.
Yeah.
32-year-old Chris May Loring fell out of her chair while sitting at a pizza restaurant and then became upset because she thought other patrons inside the pizza restaurant were laughing at her. They probably were.
Yeah, I would.
Well, she then decided to confront a man with her high heel. Now, she had gotten violent, charged at this man, and whapped him in the eye with her stiletto high heel. He is now suing her, saying he lost his eye that night. When she was taken to jail, she threatened to bite the nose off the arresting officer.
Wow.
She is now facing lots of charges.
There is a silver lining, if you will, and that is the guy that was hit is now the lead singer of Kansas, which I think is cool.
Well, you've been hit by a heel, right?
Twice. I was kicked, a girl wearing an excellent kick, too. And the other one was some girl I didn't even know in Philly, not when you and I were there 20 years ago. she just whapped me with this thing, and I didn't think anything of it, and all of a sudden blood started running down my face.
Yikes.
Yeah. And they leave this like gnarly hole
Ooh.
of a wound.
A Southern California city has posted notice on its website reminding citizens that there is a new ordinance outlawing dangerous behavior. Now, we've got those here. They say don't text while driving, don't put on your makeup or eat food.
So it's specific. It doesn't just say no dangerous behavior allowed.
No, this is specific. The city of Montclair has posted notice of an ordinance, no texting while walking.
Yes, well, they should. People are dying.
They are following suit with Honolulu, who did a similar ordinance last year. People are walking into ponds. People are walking into traffic, tripping and falling.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't believe you're just stopping and
I
staring at me.
thought you were
Going,
about
come
to
on.
say something. I didn't want to
Yes,
interrupt
I was about to
you.
say,
You did look like you had a really good point to
really?
make.
Well, I didn't. I saw this guy, though. I thought this was kind of fascinating. They're showing on the news when they're doing the story about distracted walking, and there's a guy. There's a fire engine, sirens on, and lights flash, woo, and a guy. It doesn't hit the guy. It slows down to go through a red light because you're still even in a fire truck, and the kid just walks right into it and bounces off. He hits a fire truck being distracted.
Fire officials say a World War II explosive device was found by a couple remodeling their West Virginia home. The couple were remodeling, and inside the wall is what they found to be a M660 caliber bazooka anti-tank rocket.
Wow.
I don't know. That's pretty cool.
I don't know, man. The first thing I would think, is this live? Is this going to explode? Or
Yeah.
I take it out of the wall? Is everything going to blow up?
Well, they did the right thing, which was not touch it. They
Right.
called the professionals. The bomb squad showed up and decided they could remove it from the home. They put it in a secure container. They're going to turn it over to the military. But how does an M660 caliber bazooka anti-tank rocket from World War II get in someone's wall in Virginia?
I'm going with somebody stole it and then got nervous about it and
Yeah.
sealed it up in the wall, but I don't know.
I mean, I always see on shows like CSI, you put the dead body in the wall, or you hide all your money in the wall. But then you sell the house, and then you have to go break in to get the money out of the wall.
I used to hide my drugs. I would take when I would get really super paranoid and go, oh, the cops are outside. This is like, oh, 2 more hits before you call the cops on yourself saying there's spiders. But I unscrewed the light socket and I put a string on my drugs and I dropped them down into the wall and put the plate back on.
That's smart.
That, they know. I've seen them on TV since.
Well, speaking of drugs, Australian police arrested a man after they used some new X-ray technology and found 650 pounds of ephedrine inside of highlighter markers. So a highlighter that
Yeah.
kids would use studying for
Plus,
school.
I think you can huff those if you're really uptight for a
We
buzz.
shouldn't if they're full of ephedrine.
They said that ephedrine is a crucial ingredient for making meth.
Right.
And they had hidden it inside the highlighter. So taken out the color part, and it was just the plastic on the outside. 21,000 pens. But what the perpetrators didn't know is they have a new X-ray at this facility, and the X-ray detected anomalies in the pens
All right.
and said, that's not the highlighter pen inside. That looks like drugs. And were able to bust them. 3 different people. They said this was $120 million worth of meth in the making.
Wow, that's a lot in the making. So the ingredients?
Yeah. So the ingredients would have led to $120 million worth of meth.
Thanks.
They call it ice over there,
In Hawaii?
Australia.
Oh, I know. Before I ever heard of meth here, I heard of it in Hawaii, and it was called ice over there.
I had no idea. If you are a candy lover, there is some good news for you. Kit Kat has introduced something brand new, an upgrade with luxurious flavors.
All right.
It's in a fancy box, individually wrapped bite-sized chocolates in 3 flavors: hazelnut, salted caramel, and double chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a fancy box that you could give to somebody as a gift instead of just going to CVS or Rite Aid.
Or setting it on your counter and going, "Isn't this cool? I'm gonna luxuriate in my Kit Kat."
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Well, that's exactly what I like to do.
We can go work for Kit Kat with these logos. It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay!
One of Derek's people is involved in this story.
I know. See, do you already know who that is?
Degenerate of some sort.
Who do you think it is?
I'm gonna go skinny people.
Stripper?
Stripper.
There we go.
An exotic dancer, as they like to be called, in Florida is accused of getting unruly with her bosses. Amber Colquitt, age 28, was performing at Pinup's Gentlemen's Club in Daytona Beach
Sounds classy.
Yeah.
when another dancer who wasn't performing allegedly started collecting Amber's money. The two got into a verbal altercation. She reportedly took $3 from Amber, and she decided she didn't like her taking her money, so she decided to grab her BB gun, threaten everybody in the club, and then try to beat up the chick who stole her $3.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yes, I understand. Then what happened?
She is charged with aggravated assault without intent to kill and then got fired from pinups.
You know, that's got to follow you for the rest of your life.
Fired
So
from
you're the
pinups.
girl that got fired. They're busy. Someone who's putting $1 in your underwear, and then you didn't like your surroundings. Yeah, I think that's going to follow her.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Florida.
We need to take a quick break, but when we come back in music news, yesterday it was the drummer. Today it's the guitarist for the Rolling Stones who has people shocked what he had to say next. Plus, in entertainment news, Bruce Willis is back in an iconic role and a lot of cool stuff going on in sports. That's next.
This traffic report is brought to you by Fred Meyer. In Pierce County on I-5 northbound at River Road, we're seeing some stop-and-go traffic causing about a 20-minute delay. And over in Silverdale on Highway 3 northbound at Newberry Hill Road, we have an accident that's currently blocking the right lane, causing some minor delays there as well. Hurry into Fred Meyer to save on New York bone-in strip steak. USDA choice, it's delicious and makes an easy weeknight meal. Bring home New York bone-in strip steak for just $5.99 a pound in the value pack. Fred Meyer, what's on your list today? I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Does a special someone in your life have something coming up that you want to celebrate? Maybe a birthday or an anniversary, or maybe you just want to show that special someone how much you love them. Well, it's time to get to Shane Company. They have so many special pieces of jewelry that will help celebrate the special woman in your life. You know, it's spring. How about you surprise her with something beautiful from Shane Company? They have so many different styles to choose from, and a really wonderful choice is a diamond band. It's something she can wear every day. You can wear one with your engagement ring. You could refresh that wedding set look or put it on her right hand. It's a really bold and beautiful fashion statement. Visit the store in Linwood and see all the different unique styles. And of course, they're going to have a gold for you in every shade. 14 karat white gold, yellow gold, and their own signature shade of rose gold. You're going to find really unique and beautiful jewelry at Shane Company. You can also shop online at shaneco.com. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business, Shane Company.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Taco Bell. We're looking at scattered showers today. It's going to be a tad bit warmer with highs in the upper 50s, and it's currently 39 in downtown Seattle. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries, covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce, are very real and delicious. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with music news. Yesterday, we had a story about the drummer for the Rolling Stones, and today it's all about Keith Richards.
Coincidentally, look at the shirt I'm wearing.
You are wearing
It's a Keith Richards t-shirt I got.
Well, he gave an interview with the Wall Street Journal and said, Keith Richards, Mick's a randy old bastard. It's time for the
Well, yeah.
snip. You can't
Sorry,
be a
what did you say?
Mick's a randy old bastard. It's time for the snip.
Oh, time for the snip. Paul was saying something. I thought you said something quite different.
You can't be a father at that age. Those poor kids.
Oh,
74 years old, 8 children. Now, Keith Richards, also 74 years old, and right afterwards, he regretted it. He said, I deeply regret the comments I made about Mick, which were completely out of line. I have, of course, apologized to him in person. So he said it, and it was sort of like an off the cuff.
do you believe he genuinely like? And by the way, this happens all the time, making jokes for a living, if you will. You just don't, you're just saying stuff for a laugh, and then you realize later you may have hurt somebody's feelings and you apologize. Do you think that's what happened, or Mick said something?
No, I think he realized right away that was mean.
Yeah, if he'd have said, get snipped, you're crazy to be a dad, that's all good. When you say those poor children, somebody said that to me once. I got really mad because Amy and I were trying to have kids for a minute or two, and people were referring to my age and when this kid will have to live without me. I'm going, it'll be 20 years, man. That's a good run. But when they said, that poor child, it's what made me mad. So maybe he thought about that.
Well, and realistically, he had his last kid at 73. How much time is that child going to get?
You know what? More than 10% of the world, I would imagine. You get 3 years with your dad is a lot more than some. I would think that's none of anybody's business. And that girl's 3, his wife? Or girlfriend, whatever?
Girlfriend.
Very young, yeah.
She's very young. It's not
can't
like
keep
she's
her
not going to
straight.
marry again.
Right.
She won't marry again?
She will.
Oh, she will
She'll have
marry
Then
again.
the kid will have, and they'll have plenty of money. I think that's none of anybody's business.
8 children. His first, Karis, was born in 1970.
Karis?
Oh. His youngest, Devereaux Octavian Basil Jagger.
All right, maybe he has a point. He should get snipped just because those are terrible names.
I like Octavia. Is it Octavia or Octavio?
Octavian.
Octavian, yeah, it's a Roman emperor. It's a great name.
Devereaux Octavian
I think he was poisoned by his sister, by the way.
Basil is probably how they would pronounce it.
Basil, as in like Basil Rathbone.
Yeah. His current girlfriend is named Melanie Hamrick. And, 74, still got swimmers. He's probably not done yet. Maybe he'll have 9 or 10.
What does Mick Jagger have? Another 10 years? 84?
Yeah.
Statistically
What the
speaking.
hell?
Melanie's 29, by the way.
29. Thank you,
29.
Tori. Bruce Willis is heading to Hollywood to start work on the script for the 6th Die Hard movie.
Really?
He has appeared as John McClane in all 5 Die Hards, and now he has confirmed that he will be back. Die Hard.
No, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
This is going to be called Die Hard Year 1. This will feature flashbacks to Bruce Willis in the 1970s. I'm not sure how they're doing this. If it's as in like he's playing himself at age 60 or whatever he is.
Right.
And then there's another younger version playing him in the 1970s.
Yeah, they could do that.
Or a younger actor. Or are they going to do that weird computer generated stuff?
You know what? It's great, but it's not great enough to not be a distraction. You go, that's amazing. You shouldn't really do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It's like
found
saying you've
it-
had really good plastic surgery. Was that good? You wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have noticed.
I found it super distracting in Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator and then Kurt Russell in the Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
movie. I was like, that's not him.
Yeah.
Look at his face. It's so smooth.
But in the Guardian of the Galaxy, it was kind of part of the joke, really. I mean, it wasn't they're trying to make him look like a younger man. It was all the whole thing is kind of a comedy
True.
adventure. But I saw it with Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. It was great, but you just went, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And you stared at it. Went, oh, neat. And you shouldn't do that, I don't think.
Paramount Network announced yesterday they have decided to delay the premiere of Heathers in the wake of last month's shooting at the high school in Parkland, Florida. Paramount is the recently rebranded Spike Network. They are the home to several new TV shows, and they had Heathers, the movie, which starred Winona Ryder, Christian Slater, Shannon Doherty.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Really funny movie, like dark.
Yeah.
They said that this was going to be super dark and that it takes place in high school. They thought maybe this is not the time for that. So they're going to just postpone it for a little bit. Shannon Doherty will be making an appearance.
Really?
She will not be in high school.
No.
I bet she is. I bet she's a teacher.
Right. But I'm saying she's not going to be playing somebody in high school.
So what about the Spike channels, the newly branded Paramount?
Yep.
Which one's current? Which one do I look at is on my TV right now?
Paramount.
Oh, I didn't even notice that happened.
I didn't either, to be honest with you. And there was another one that rebranded pretty recently, and it's kind of getting hard to keep track. Your Access channel changed names, the ABC Family changed names, a bunch of them. And then sometimes you'll go and start watching something, and you're like, what channel is this? And you realize it's something you have watched before.
Yeah, the other day I was watching a marathon of the show Cops, and it was on the Paramount Network, and I would go, what channel is this?
Right.
I've never seen this before. I was so confused.
Yeah, Spike. And it turns out when Star Trek got off the ground in 1966, Leonard Nimoy did not like the ears. So much so that he really dug his heels in and was going to refuse to wear them. We are just finding out about this now because 1976 audio interviews have been unearthed and are now seeing the light of day. So Leonard Nimoy had it in his contract that if the ears were too cumbersome or too distracting and annoying, he could get rid of them. But I mean, they're part of...
Yeah.
What would Spock be without the ears?
Annoying.
Now, Tori, are you just William Shatner or do you like Spock too?
I think Spock is sexy, but I do like William Shatner more, probably, as a character.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, he did
Doesn't
wind
the
up...
fact that in almost all shots you can see William Shatner's girdle, or in almost all shots you can see William Shatner's toupee, doesn't that throw you a little
Okay,
bit?
ever since you told me, that's all I stare at. But you know what? He looks good still.
He does look good
ruined
still.
It's a good toupee.
It's an excellent toupee.
He was so handsome. Well, it turns out the ears did work. Leonard Nimoy wore 150 pairs of ears during the 3-year run of the show.
Wow.
That's a lot of ears.
It's a lot of ears.
James Dean's iconic cherry red jacket from the 1955 film Rebel Without a Cause could be yours.
All right.
You got to have that, Danny.
Why? So I can wear the same jacket as a total no talent who can't even drive?
Okay, maybe you don't have to have it.
Danny.
Oh, please. What a hack, this guy.
Can't even drive. He's got a star on the Hollywood Walk
Of
of
course he
Fame.
has a star on the Hollywood Walk of
I bet he has a
Fame.
couple of stars on the Hollywood
He
Walk
was
of Fame.
awesomely
In
handsome.
what? Oh,
Giant.
yeah, no, he was super handsome.
He was super handsome. I loved him in Giant. Oh my gosh. East of Eden, one of my favorite movies.
Do you know this guy? He's a star. Was it 50 years later, 60 years later? And he's this huge name and everything. And he sells T-shirts 50 years, 60 years after his death.
Yeah.
He did 3 movies.
Yeah.
That's it. That's his whole career. Shut up.
The problem with Rebel Without a Cause was that they had him and Natalie Wood playing people in high school when they were clearly in their 20s.
Right.
But great movie. And the jacket is expected to go for about $600,000.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Obviously, somebody's a fan.
I like to go to Fred Meyer, grab a red jacket, and insist. No, this is the one. I bought it at auction. I'm doing well this year.
Apple has given the straight-to-series order for a psychological thriller from M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong,
Yeah.
as you like to call him.
He won me back with his last movie.
It was great.
What was
Split?
it? Yeah, that
Split
Split
was
movie
super
was really good, but mostly that's just a story that anybody could tell. That it wouldn't be that difficult to write that story, I don't think. I think that goes to the actor. That
Yeah, he
pulled that
was
off. 82
fantastic.
different characters, and you believed every single one of them.
Yep. He had a show on called Wayward Pines. It was pretty successful on Fox. but it was actually canceled yesterday. So the third season was not coming back. But he got all sorts of accolades for Split, and now he is going to be making a new straight-to-series for Apple. So we were just talking yesterday about all the different ways you've got to watch TV now.
Right.
Hulu and...
Yeah, I didn't know Apple TV had their own programming. I thought they just got stuff, but maybe this is their first show or they're dipping into it.
I'm with you. I didn't realize either, but that's a pretty big get.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. I actually rewatched, what's it called? The Unbreakable? Is that the one with Mr. Glass and Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
I just rewatched that after watching Split because it turns out they are tied together. And it's not bad. I didn't like it the first time. It's
How is it tied together?
At the, I was about to say at the very end of Split, but that's not a fair thing
When
to
they
do.
kill the school teacher?
Oh my God! You can't talk about a movie that was out 2.5 years ago.
I think that Split came out last year, but I would recommend if people haven't watched it to watch it.
So
'cause
how
it's
is
great.
it connected to?
If you watched it, you should know. Bruce Willis shows up as the same character as
Okay.
Oh, so
Unbreakable.
it shares a character.
No reason to yell at me. It was a reasonable question. I didn't know.
Oh, because you haven't seen Unbreakable.
Yeah, I've seen them both.
Oh,
Yes.
it's the same character. Shows up.
Okay. Is it cool between us now?
It's not Halloween, nor is it National Black Cat Appreciation Day, or even National Black Cat Day. But thanks to the success of Black Panther, black cats are being adopted in droves.
Well, that's good. You know,
great.
In the old days, you'd see something like this and you'd buy them. And I'll give you a prime example of bad call: Dalmatians. After 101 Dalmatians, two things. One, people are going and buying these dogs in droves. And two, it turns out, not great dogs.
Yeah, definitely not great with kids.
Bad attitudes, a little snippy, if you will. And snip meaning short-tempered and take a little piece of your flesh.
I've been bitten by one.
See that?
Oh.
They'd make a fine purse. But aside from that,
Well, some people get concerned around Halloween that people are adopting black cats for the wrong reason.
yeah, to eat them.
But they said now with Black Panther, so many different shelters are reporting all the black cats are gone.
Oh.
That this is a great movement.
Yeah, unless they lose interest after the movie goes away and
Yeah.
they let them back out on the world.
I hope not.
I hope not, too.
One of the elderly Humane Society volunteers said that they do some follow-ups like, how's the cat doing? And you tell them what you're renaming the cat. Like when I went and adopted my first black cat, it was Zelda after a witch. I'm like, I'm not naming this cat Zelda. Her name's Kitty. Like every normal good cat.
I think that's F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife. I'd stick with that one.
Zelda, yeah, but it was for a witch and it was black. But so this elderly Humane Society worker said, why are so many people naming these sweet kitties Killmonger? Because that's a character from Black Panther. Our iHeartRadio Music Awards are a week from Sunday, live from the Forum in Los Angeles, and KZOK wants to send you to the show on us. You are listening for a new keyword and your cue to text. When that happens, you could win airfare, deluxe hotel accommodations, plus, of course, tickets to the show. Keep listening for that. Plus, if you are just feeling antsy and want to buy those tickets, you can do so now through Ticketmaster. Let's take a look at sports.
Sports!
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Spring training action. Yesterday, the Mariners lost to the Indians 4-2, but they'll turn it around today.
They're already turning it around too much.
They're going to get dizzy, yeah.
That's what it is. You're right. Stop turning it around. Just face forward. The Royals, 12:10 start time. We're starting to get very excited about baseball returning to Safeco Field. But before that happens, we are taking over the Terrace Club for our third annual Whiskey Rocks happening March 10th. Now, don't forget, last year's event sold out. So if you've been kind of waiting and not taking action, stop it and get your tickets now at whiskeyrocksnw.com.
Yeah, VIP tickets actually just sold out yesterday. So there's still general admission available. Great deal. But get your tickets now before those are gone.
Yep. Free parking, free live entertainment from numerous bands. 100 of the finest whiskeys and bourbons from around the world. Danny Bonaducci will be there.
I'll be there.
Derek, Tori, Paul, the whole gang, myself. We will all be
Yeah.
there. Yeah, be super fun. Today is March 1st.
I know what that means.
I didn't know what that meant. What?
Hockey, my
Hockey.
friends.
Hockey?
Today is the day that fans will be able to get those deposits in to become a season ticket holder for the Seattle NHL franchise. You will get priority access to tickets should we get a team, which I'd like to think when we get a team.
Yeah.
10 a.m. is when you can start online putting it in. They said you can call, but chances are the phone lines are going to be inundated. So your best action is to do this online. So NHLSeattle.com, $500 for regular tickets, and then $1,000 for the private club access and parking.
Cool. Hey, don't we have a couple of billionaires who are backing an NHL team here in Seattle
We certainly
coming into
do.
the studio? What time there, Paul?
8:20 today.
So,
yeah.
dig this. Jerry Bruckheimer, the guy that brought you Top Gun. He may have brought you other guns, but they weren't as good as that one. Top Gun. And Liwicki is
Tim
coming in.
Liwicki, yeah.
And he's the guy that runs stadiums. And, these two are really powerful in the getting us a team. So they'll be in around 8:20 or so.
Yeah.
Is that right? And we'll be excessively polite to them.
Speak for yourself. No, they are coming in to talk about that and this big push because we need to get a lot of people signed up to show the NHL we are going to support this team.
Right.
So that's why they'll be joining us at 8:20 to talk more about the plan for Key Arena and bring in a team here. It's really exciting. Tonight, the Sounders have a CONCACAF League match against Santa Tecla at 7 o'clock, CenturyLink Field. They begin their MLS season on Sunday against LAFC, 2 o'clock Sunday, CenturyLink Field. Now, tonight, there is a lot of action at Key Arena. So this is good to know if you are planning to travel throughout the area. You're probably thinking, what the heck is happening at Key Arena? Also, we've got some local action. UW play at 2, WSU at 6 o'clock, and this is the Pac-12 women's basketball tournament. It happens all weekend long, so you're going to see a lot of activity around Key Arena.
Now, is everybody playing around construction, or is it not started yet?
Not started yet. Okay. So at 2 o'clock, it's UW, WSU at 6, and if they win, they advance to the next round and will play again tomorrow. So we've got the first round game times are 11:30, 2 o'clock, 6, and 8:30 tonight. So lots of action at Key Arena. And in men's NCAA action, UW, Oregon State, 8 o'clock tonight. WSU versus Oregon, 6 o'clock tonight. And a bit of football news to tell you about in sports this morning. Professional flag football now has the official support of the NFL.
Are we talking about the Pro Bowl?
This is actual flag football. Now
For grown men?
Grown men.
Professionals, they're going to get paid to do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did a pilot game, almost like, you would shoot a pilot TV series. It was Michael Vick and other former NFL players. And they said it went really well, so much so that the NFL Network has agreed to air 11 AFFL games in this.
Oh, AFFL, awful.
No, very nice. Nicely
The flag you named your flag football league awful.
that
That's
and you
great.
can have liver on a stick. It's perfect.
They claim that they're going to have a lot of big name former players playing flag football, and you will be able to watch it on the NFL Network.
Sounds silly.
Interesting, maybe. I guess.
If you're
we shall
dying
see.
for sports to put on television, what about jousting
Yeah.
on horseback?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be awesome.
I'd do that.
That's your look at sports, brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Hey, don't forget 720 tickets to see Jimmy Buffett. Lots of shows still to come.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell. On Highway 3 northbound in Silverdale at Newberry Hill Road, there was an earlier accident that has been cleared, but you're still seeing some stop and go traffic. And you're also going to see some slow traffic in Everett as you make your way on I-5 southbound right near Everett Avenue. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce are very real and delicious. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Wow, it is March 1st today. Spring is right around the corner. A lot of people say, okay, spring, it's March. You got to start doing some spring cleaning. Here's something I would recommend you do. How about you clean up your bedroom and get rid of that old, stinky, saggy pillow? You know the one I'm talking about. If you think about it, do you know how old that pillow is? Sometimes you don't realize it's just part of your life. And then you realize, oh my gosh, I've had that pillow for 10 years and it's stinky and it's flat. It's time to get a My Pillow. Treat yourself this spring. Now's a great time to get a My Pillow too, because they've got the 4-pack special. 2 My Pillow premium pillows, 2 Go Anywhere My Pillows for half off if you use my promo code KZOK. Call them 800-304-4756. That's 800-304-4756. Don't forget the promo code KZOK. You know, why was I talking about your old pillow being sad, saggy, and stinky? I'm going to guess that you can't just throw it in the washer dryer like a My Pillow. I'm willing to bet that it's old. Time to get a My Pillow, my friends. MyPillow.com with promo code KZOK.
Beautiful. It is 1 minute after 7 o'clock in the morning. I would invite you to stay with us as you do every day, and we appreciate that. But at 7:20, we want to send you to see Jimmy Buffett at Key Arena playing a game called Lose Your Head at 7:20.
We were talking about Dick's Sporting Goods earlier in the show. We were talking about it a lot yesterday. And when the news first broke that Dick's Sporting Goods was changing their policy on guns, very, very serious story.
To a sensible stance on guns, if you ask me, but expensive. It's going to cost them some dough to do the right thing, which makes them even better in my book.
But we were talking about this issue, guns, Dick's Sporting Goods, and half the time y'all were giggling.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, I'm still giggling.
Because it's Dick's Sporting Goods. And then,
well, you're saying that doing the right thing and everything, Dick stands up for us. How are you not laughing at that?
And then you all were asking about you had Derek look up Dick and see if Dick was still with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He looked up Dick and didn't have any problems on the internet finding that information.
Well, I had a few, but I didn't mind.
We said they took a hard stance on the issue and silly stuff like that.
In Chicago, they did a game called Big Dick or Little Dick. And
Yeah.
you call up a thing named Dick's and ask to speak to the owner and ask him how tall he was. If he was over 6 feet tall, big.
Well, when this name was very popular, there were fathers and sons that were Big Dick and Little Dick.
Yeah.
For Richard, I never understood.
I don't even understand how you get to be Dick from being Richard.
I don't
Who makes
either.
that call?
It makes
My
no
mom
sense.
is Betty from being Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And that's a standard thing. I don't get it.
When I
But
was
that
in middle
makes more
school,
sense. There's a BET in there. There's no D.
So why isn't she Beth?
Well, I'm not saying it makes 100% sense, but
when I was in middle school, our vice principal was Big. Weird to even say was Big Richard.
well, I mean, it's Dick's Sporting Goods. It's also Dick's Drive-In.
Yeah.
And every time we have a story about Dick's Drive-In, y'all giggle.
Yeah,
Not me,
but
of course.
but they're not to be confused. One's a really good hamburger, and one's a really good top-notch sporting goods store. But in all seriousness, they're going to take a hit over what I believe is doing the right thing. They're not going to sell what is called assault-type rifles or any gun to anybody under 21.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is great.
Well, Danny, is there a business or product name that makes you giggle other than Dick's Sporting Goods?
Yeah, I can't remember if it's here in Los Angeles. You'll know if it's here. You'll have seen it. It's a noodle house and a barbecue restaurant, both of them, and it's called Faux Q.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes me very nervous all the time. Because actually,
PHO for pho.
actually, you're the one that told me how to pronounce it. It's actually pho.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
won't say those
Stick
two
with
together.
pho, yeah.
It's like that, but it makes me giggle every time I see it.
Well, you guys listening, is there a business that has a name that makes you giggle? Let us know. Call 800-252-1025.
Alrighty, here's the thing we were asking you. We were talking about Dick's sporting good store, and the fact that because we're juvenile delinquents, they can often make us laugh. And is there a business out there, a perfectly acceptable, fine business that makes you giggle every time you say it?
We are supporters of Dick's Sporting Goods and Dick's Drive-In, but we are 12 years old sometimes. Let's talk with Josh in Renton, a business that makes you giggle.
Hey, Josh.
Hello, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
I worked at an advertising agency in Seattle. I'm with two partners. Last names were very comical, and we had to announce our rooms often when we go into client meetings. Their company's name was Wong Duty.
Wong Duty. That's actually a company you've worked with, haven't you, Paul?
I'm familiar with them. Yeah, the radio stations have done business with them in the past. And don't they have?
Absolutely.
There's 4 partners actually: Wong, Duty, Crandall, and Wiener, right?
That is actually true. Ben Wiener is down in L.A., and they had his name in the title for a while, and we called ourselves Wong Duty Crandall Wiener, and that got even worse.
I like it. What can I tell you? Well, now that I think about it, the entire company of Wang Computers makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
And then you go and it's an old-fashioned one. You go, oh, that's a huge Wang. Always giggling because we're 12.
Wang, Duty, Wiener.
Yep.
And Josh actually works there. He has that on his business card. Wang Duty. Wong Duty.
Let's talk with Josh in Seattle, a business that has a name that makes you giggle.
So there is a pho restaurant called What the Pho in Bellevue, downtown Bellevue.
And that one's in Bellevue. When I see one every now and again, there's a Thai restaurant that it doesn't know if it makes me laugh or it makes me mad half the time
What?
because they got their sign wrong.
Oh, what is it?
Have you guys seen it? It's on 3rd. It's called Thai on 1.
Yes.
And they meant Taiwan
Taiwan
on.
on.
And they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
get it right. I pass by it all the time. I want to go in there and correct it.
Because it's Thai on first,
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
Oh, I never even got that part.
Yeah, they're on first. So it's a Thai restaurant on
Right.
first, but it's Taiwan. Yeah. That
Taiwan on is what you were supposed to be going for there.
Good morning, Lane in Bremerton.
Hey, Lane.
Good. Hey, how's it going?
It's all
you
good.
people? Oh, whatever.
Wow. You're not supposed to actually call up and fart, dude. You just make the sound with your mouth, for God's sakes.
Well, hey, I was just beating you to it, Danny.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Lane.
Well, I've got selective hearing, and I hear you guys advertising this one all the time. What's up with that zipyourcooter.com?
All right, now, Lane, we have it's called the traffic part of this radio station. It would never advertise something to zip your cooter. I'm thinking you're hearing this wrong.
I think it is what?
Zip Recruiter.
Zip Recruit.
Yeah,
and so
they're-
you can recruit in a hurry, Lane. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, it's Bill in Lakewood.
Hey, I'm so glad you called back. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh, we're gonna start every call with a 2.
I'm afraid of this. All right, Bill, what do you got for us?
So anyway, I've been suffering from a tropical disease called Lockanookie. I think that's why I've been kind of in a foul mood lately. So I'm sorry.
It's when he was living on Hawaii. He had the dreaded Lockanookie disease. I understand that completely.
It took
not
me you
just in
repeating it to
Hawaii.
get.
All right, what do you got for you?
So anyway, when I used to drink, I used to walk into my favorite pub and ask the bartender, a good-looking lady, say, "Hey, how's your bush today?" And she would always tell me, "Cold and wet."
Bush beer. Yeah.
Bush beer.
Well,
That was for you,
everybody
Tori.
knew that, you little babies.
Say hi to Bill.
Hi, Bill.
So, Bill, thank you very much. We're so pleased that you called back, and we will talk to you later this week. Oh, which is tomorrow.
Katie in Tulalip, is there a business that has a name that makes you laugh?
Yes,
All right.
it's called Poo. It's called Poo Ping Palace.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it is.
Where is it?
Sunland, Tahunga. Poo Ping Palace. Swear to God.
Chinese food.
Yeah, well, my favorite.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
The Pooping Palace.
I don't believe it. But
Oh,
you've been
it's
there.
really
You've
nice.
seen it.
I've seen it. Everybody, you can't avoid that corner.
Wow.
Wow. Chris in Issaquah, what's a business that makes you giggle?
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
I used to teach English in Japan. In Japan, they've got a sports drink they call cow piss.
No, it's a thing. Look,
Oh.
the thing is you have to spell it, I believe. Do you remember how to spell it?
Yeah, it's spelled CALPIS. In the American market, they changed it to Calpico.
Yeah.
Well, that was smart.
A good move.
Man,
I don't think it would work here.
one of my favorite things about Japan, this happens in a couple of other places. Mexico is a good one for this. crazy food that you never heard of, like the candy department in Mexico and in Japan. Like they have some crazy candies that makes it a ton of fun.
Yo, in Olympia, what's a business that has a name that makes you giggle?
Good morning.
Morning, sweetheart.
Well, there's a septic tank truck that drives around in my town, and it's called Howdy's Duty Service.
Howdy's
Howdy
duties.
doody.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's great.
Maybe a little trademark infringement, but who's going to complain?
Hi, Joe in Lake Stevens.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
So, a buddy of mine a long time ago told me about this Mandarin restaurant down in Portland, Oregon, and I absolutely did not believe him. And then once on a motorcycle trip, I stopped down there, and I had to look in the phone book to see if it really was true, and it was. It was called the Hung Far Low.
I would totally eat that.
And so is he after a long motorcycle
You know,
ride.
you know what concerns me is that almost in any Chinese restaurant at all, for as long as I can remember, you can get the poo-poo platter. Who would want that?
Oh, yeah.
You put it on a stick and set it on fire, it's still a poo-poo platter.
Jeremiah in Seattle, is there a business that has a name that makes you laugh?
Hey, Jeremiah.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning, sweetheart. What do you got for us?
Up in Alaska, they've got a brewery, and I got a T-shirt out of this place. I didn't believe it, but I've got the proof. It's called the Beaver Bush Brewing Company.
That's good. There was a Beaver Brewing Company where I went, and I got you a T-shirt from there, didn't I?
There is a Belching Beaver Brewery
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
San Diego, and they make delicious beer.
I'll bet.
Belching
I'll bet.
Beaver.
There's a name for a belching beaver, but I don't think we should discuss it.
No.
Paul, what's a business that has a name that makes you laugh?
There's a local grocery chain here. There's one in Renton, one in Tacoma. I think there's one in Burien still, but it's called SARS Market.
That can't be good.
Yeah, I would imagine that they lost the business when that whole epidemic was going on.
Well, along those lines, remember the diet product AIDS? AIDS
yes.
will make you thin. Yeah, that's exactly what I've heard.
I always laugh at the Big Boys restaurant. We had in Connecticut,
Like
there
a
was
Bob's?
Bob's Big Boy?
We had Abdow's Big Boy. There's a bunch of different names, but the Big Boy and that weird little dude with the funny flippity hairdo.
Yeah.
Growing up, we had a restaurant called Sambo's that was much like a Denny's or something, just a diner, and they were all over the place. And they had, I don't know, there was a big story that everybody probably knew growing up, Little Black Sambo's, and he's eaten by the tiger at the end. He's a prince or some such thing.
Okay.
Well, part of their decor was to paint that story on the wall of this little child in his underwear running for his life till he's eaten by the tiger. And the whole restaurant chain closed as people became aware that this probably wasn't a good idea. They could have just changed the name, but they bulldozed some of these places.
Bob's Big Boy is still around, and there was big storms hitting the Midwest, and it blew Bob's Big Boy over. I can say that, right?
Hey, as long as you add the word over.
Over, yeah.
Over.
It was a storm.
1020.
Tori, is there a business that has a name that makes you laugh?
I actually had a friend give me a gag gift, and they're construction work gloves, and they're called hand job work gloves. And the slogan is better than nothing.
Which I agree with.
Oh, God.
Let's go to Dave and Seabeck.
All right. Hi, Dave and Seabeck.
Hey, good morning.
What do you got for us?
At a restaurant in Oceanside, California. It's a sushi restaurant called Harney's. And up above on the left of the sign, it was miso, like miso soup.
Sure.
So miso Harney's.
That would make me laugh every single time I pass it. That's for sure.
Thank you all for playing along, but look at the time.
Look at the time.
It is time to play the game Sweep of the Nation, Lose Your Head.
Lose your head.
You can win tickets to see Jimmy Buffett June 23rd at Key Arena. If you would like to play this game, well, you need to call us right now at 800-252-1025. We're once again playing Lose Your Head for a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band June 23rd at Key Arena. To win, you will have to correctly identify the group of fans from Danny's Clue. So far this week, we've had deadheads, potheads, cheeseheads. What will it be today? Our contestant is Matt in Olympia.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Hi.
All right. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I do.
Do you understand the rules of the game?
Kind of.
Well, then let's get to it, shall we? Hey, this group of fans lose their heads over big block engines and dual quad carburetors. They are redlining the quarter mile, and they can't drive at 55. Hydraulic lifters and double overhead cams. If it adds horsepower, these fans have to have it. They aren't parrot heads, but can you name this group of fans that lose their heads?
Motorheads.
Motorheads!
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
that works. Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
It does work.
sure.
Motorheads, gearheads,
Yeah.
All right, dude, you've won yourself a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Buffett June 23rd at Key Arena. You'll pick up your tickets at the Jeep Winners window in our lobby, and the rest of you can join us for another round tomorrow at 7:20 for Jimmy Buffett tickets.
This traffic report is brought to you by Fred Meyer. Looking at the roads, and we are seeing some construction in Seattle on Highway 99 northbound at Halliday Street. Two of the lanes are closed. The two left lanes are blocked for road work, so that is causing some stop-and-go traffic. Other than that, most of the roadways are looking pretty good this morning. Hurry into Fred Meyer to save on New York bone-in strip steak. USDA choice, it's delicious and makes an easy weeknight meal. Bring home New York bone-in strip steak for just $5.99 a pound in the value pack. Fred Meyer, what's on your list today? I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Aer Lingus. It's currently 39 and partly cloudy in downtown Seattle. We're looking at highs in the upper 40s, and we should be seeing some sun this afternoon. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.airlingus.com. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Just when you thought they got to be done, oh, no, our cup runneth over.
We got the big news of the day coming next. Some of the stories we'll be talking about. Move over, Lady Doritos. There is another huge product being marketed to females. If you're thinking about a trip to Alaska, you might want to be mindful of your number 2. I'll explain.
Please.
Yeah.
Things got a little weird at spring training yesterday. Hockey and Mexican food together. We've got a great story for you next.
And as always, the big news of the day is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online at goldbergjones.com.
Well, some people are saying it is Lady Doritos Part 2, but it is not Doritos this time around. It's whiskey. Johnny Walker.
Lady whiskey?
Yes.
It's girly whiskey, right?
Walker.
Is that what it is?
I didn't even know she needed to go out.
Johnny Walker Whiskey say they are going to be rolling out a female-branded version of their famous scotch, Jane Walker. It will feature a top hat-wearing woman with long, dark hair on special edition bottles of Black Label. This is according to Bloomberg, and they say it's the owner of Johnny Walker said they want to widen the appeal of their product while celebrating women. Now, March is starting today. This is Women's History Month and International Women's Day. And they said for every one of the bottles sold, they will donate $1 to women's organizations.
Right, but then next year they're going to have to donate $1 to AA, I think.
Well, some people are saying, cool. And other people are saying women don't need a special whiskey. We can drink
I don't get
everything
any
else.
Maybe if it involves some kind of strength or whatever it is that we all can accept, men are different from women. But like the Lady Doritos and stuff, I think that's all a big marketing mistake. And, I think you make up to 52% of the world mad when you do stupid things around gender. I was going to say around ginger, then that's just me.
I think this is different because you're not saying, well, this is easier for them to eat or easier for them to drink.
Which is what it was with the Doritos.
Right. Instead, you're saying we're coming out with this special line of whiskey because we want to celebrate women. It's whatever International Women's Month or National Women's Month, and that we're going to donate money to women's organizations. I don't think they'll get the backlash that Doritos got, but. Is it going to be at Whiskey Rocks? Are they going to have this out at Whiskey Rocks?
I did see Johnny Walker at Whiskey Rocks last year.
Yeah,
I don't know if Jane Walker would be. I hope so. And I hope everybody will be joining us at Whiskey Rocks Northwest. Tickets are on sale now.
And almost sold out. They're selling really fast. The VIP tickets sold out. The general admission are going quick. So
right on.
WhiskeyRocksNW.com.
Thank you. Now, when you climb a mountain, it takes a long time.
Yes, it does. Well, it takes forever because I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go up Kilimanjaro or Everest or Rainier or Denali, it's not a one-day trip.
No.
Therefore, you tend to have to go number 1 and number 2.
Right. First of all, the thing I do is find the fattest hikers I can go with in case we get stuck and I have to eat them. Because you don't just eat a guy before, you can't just go, it's been like 3 hours since I ate anything. I'm peckish. Let me just rip your leg off. But, so you're starving. It's been 5 days. I'm down to nothing. You got to go with the big guys so you can eat them.
Yeah. And you want something with nice marbling, too.
Right. Absolutely.
So, Denali, when you climb Denali.
Oh, yeah. Back to the news.
Yes. You're going to have to go number 2.
Sure.
And according to experts, Michael Loso is a glacier geologist and has calculated 36,000 climbers have gone up Denali in the time frame that he's analyzing, okay? 36,000. That means about 200,000 pounds of number 2.
Oh, how big's your number 2?
Now that
I go with
also
36,000 climbers, which would be just for fun, we'll call it 36,000 pounds.
Yeah.
What does
that
it get in
seems
this
more
number?
reasonable.
Yeah.
It takes
not 6 pounds per person.
It takes
That's
weeks
crazy.
to climb. It can take weeks to climb Denali.
But you shouldn't have so many big meals on
calm
day
down.
3 and 4. You should be eating a little lighter.
Well, they are concerned about some of this perhaps melting, that eventually it's going to get into our water stream.
Oh, they got to think the same thing about all the dead bodies that are on Everest and even here on Rainier.
Well, they are saying it's going to be even further regulated. You are going to have to pack it in and pack it out. As in,
I'm not gonna.
Anything.
First of all, I'm not climbing.
Right.
Okay, so let's pretend I'm climbing. I'm not packing out my poo.
No.
You're going to have to.
No. What, are they going to come running up to me on Denali?
They've started doing this at Everest. A lot of the different mountains are trying to figure out how to combat it because Everest is the worst. There is number 2 and bodies everywhere. Whereas,
I know how to combat it. Don't climb a mountain.
But you're not going to jail. It's a fine, right?
You'll pay a fine.
Yeah.
And most
Well
of these people
worth
tend
it.
to be tree huggers anyway. You don't want to hurt the environment by leaving your number 2 everywhere. Some people who've climbed Mount Everest say it's absolutely disgusting. But some places are trying to be proactive. Mount Fuji in Japan, There are bio toilets that are set up along the way.
Okay, that lets you know I mentioned the other day, and God love Mount Fuji and my good friends in Japan.
Yeah.
But if you were you're climbing a mountain and there's a toilet already there, you kind of know this is not that gnarly of a climb.
And they say that if you're going up Kilimanjaro, latrines have been built along the way to try to combat it. They said when you climb Denali, you get your drinking water by melting snow.
Yeah.
Ew.
Too bad. You're a mountain climber. Be rugged.
Thanks to Joe and Lake Stevens and a very popular line of commercials, we all know what Wednesday is called.
Hump Day!
Thanks for bringing that back, Joe.
Baseball fans also know it is no secret that the Washington Nationals have a hump to get over because they keep losing in the NLDS. They don't make it to the World Series. They can't get past that hump. So their new manager, Dave Martinez, yesterday introduced Hump Day. He went to spring training on a camel.
I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
You're going to make an entrance, make an entrance.
Now, this guy was a bench coach for Joe Madden, and we've talked about him before, that he is constantly doing wild and wacky things to get his team excited.
Oh, right.
A lot of stuff with goats.
Goats.
He always had goats around.
Snakes.
I like goats.
Clowns.
Yeah, clowns.
Yep.
And clown goats. Or goat clowns. I don't really know.
So they rode out, the staff rode out to spring training on goats and played the Black Eyed Peas song "My Humps" over
You
loudspeakers.
can't ride a goat.
Camels. They
Did I
rode
say
out on
goat?
camels.
Oh.
Camel, sorry. Wacky, you know, kind of
Hump
fun.
Day!
Hump Day.
Yeah, thanks again.
It's not even Hump Day today either.
No,
it's
you know what it is?
yesterday.
This is from Nick Allard on Channel 7. He won't say Thursday. He will, and it's a thing. Like, you're the weather dude. Say what day it is.
What does he say?
Friday Eve.
Friday Eve.
Yeah, how are you on this fine Thursday? And they bug him, and I don't know, that's a weird way. He looks like he's mad. He says, it's Friday Eve.
I'm going to start calling it the day after Hump Day.
Hump Day! No, it'll be annoying at all.
Derek, just have that ready because Tuesday could easily be the day before Hump Day.
This weekend,
Live with
something
yourself.
This weekend, something very exciting is happening.
Yeah.
It is Hockey Weekend Across America.
Yeah.
The 11th annual Hockey Weekend Across America. And to get involved, Chipotle said they are offering a buy one, get one free deal that starts tomorrow. Now, if you wanted to go into Chipotle and you can actually get a free burrito, but there is a caveat, you will have to wear a hockey jersey.
You should wear a hockey mask.
I don't think they'll like that. No business likes that.
Just go in. You don't have to have the knife or anything. Just wear the hockey mask. Can you eat through a hockey mask?
No.
No, maybe the Jason mask. It's got that little weird.
Yeah, but that's a
mouth
murder
hole.
mask.
That's a murder mask.
right.
Yeah.
That's not what you were talking about?
Well, it's about a hockey mask that implies murder. But
Yeah.
it has to be a regulation hockey mask. Why would they give you a free burrito? They should give you a free cutlery.
Hockey jersey, Chipotle.
Yeah.
Free food, wearing your hockey gear. And speaking of hockey gear, 8:20, we've got a special guest in studio.
Well, two, I believe. Two
Yeah,
special guests.
absolutely.
Jerry Buckheimer and Tim Glywicki will be in here to discuss the one guy, the Tim dude, is a big stadium guy. He makes his living doing and running stadiums.
Yeah,
I
and sports
believe.
teams, yeah.
And Jerry Bruckheimer has brought you, Top Gun, Flashdance, and I am personally indebted for CSI, Paid My
Yep.
Dental.
Right, yeah.
Yep. So they'll be in studio at 8:20 to talk about this big push that happens today at 10 o'clock to get tickets for the new hockey team that we're getting in Seattle. So that opens up at 10 o'clock. You can buy those tickets today. We'll put in your deposit. So $500 per ticket or $1,000 if you want club level.
I went 7 really stellar restaurants around Key Arena when they open
You'll
up.
have to ask him about that.
I will.
right.
NHLSeattle.com is the website to get your deposit put down today.
Thank you. 10 o'clock this morning. And join us at 8:20 for those special guests. That's the big news of the day, and it's brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online at goldbergjones.com.
Still, there's more coming up at Sarah's Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. Was it stiff this morning? A nice stiff breeze was blowing at my house. Some parts of the country are experiencing wild, wicked weather, blowing and sticky white stuff, a twister. My neighbor Vanessa plays a mean game of naked twister, but that's a story for another time. We've got wet weather here in the Pacific Northwest, but you'll get some nice action later today. A stroking from the sun this afternoon. Then the big ol' wet stick returns tomorrow. You know what to do with it. With the best weather front in Seattle, I'm Sarah.
I gotta be honest with you. I think the idea of naked twister is probably hotter on paper.
Yeah?
Think about that. Oh. Because, she's there too.
Right.
There, she's getting angles in me I don't need her to have.
Yeah.
That was, in fact, it was filthy forecast. Hey, and if you join us tomorrow right around this same time, 7:50, if you can tell us where Sarah's Beaver's been, you're going to win a pair of tickets to see David Blaine coming to the Paramount Theater.
In Newcastle on 405 southbound at 44th Street, we do have an accident that is cleared to the right shoulder, but you're still seeing some stop and go traffic, about a 15-minute delay. And in Seattle on Highway 99 northbound at Halliday Street, the two left lanes are currently blocked due to some road construction. This traffic report was brought to you by Phillips Law Firm. If you've been injured on the job and are tired of dealing with the L&I claim process, call Phillips Law Firm for a free case evaluation. And most importantly, don't wait until it's too late. Call today, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 2 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm super excited. We're scheduled to have a visit from Jerry Bruckheimer, super whammy. Is that a good instruction? Super whammy TV and movie producer. And Tim Wiki, who is made just a ton of money and is very powerful in the stadium business, running them, operating them, and sports business in general. They will be in this very studio talking about why and how we can get ourselves a hockey team.
That's right. Well, we're talking in the news about Elvis running for office in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And at first it sounded like, okay, this guy just looks like Elvis. No, this guy is actually an Elvis impersonator, and his name is Elvis. And sometimes people...
Do you know if he legally changed his name?
I would imagine he
Because
did.
that's what I was going to say. You're nobody. If you're going to make your living ripping off the talents of somebody else, although I have seen some of them that are great at it, so what the heck? You should change your name, possibly have a couple of surgeries. That's what I think.
Well, we know that being a celebrity impersonator is a line of work for people.
Sure.
And there are a lot of Elvis impersonators. Obviously, you go to Vegas, there's dozens.
Was it the Angel Wins? Is that where they sponsor your beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just had one of the world's greatest Elvis impersonators up there.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they did.
Oh, I would have gone.
No, you wouldn't have. It's a school night. You'd have been sleeping.
Maybe it was on a weekend.
Don't pretend you have a life.
We have a listener who calls in every now and again who's an Elvis impersonator cab driver.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's right.
But I mean, if you had to or wanted to earn a living being an impersonator, there were people to choose. Like, I think being an Elvis impersonator would probably be fun.
Yeah, well, I think I can't think of too many impersonators that wouldn't be fun. There's a Kim Jong-un impersonator in South Korea that apparently is infuriating North Korea, but he's all the rage in South Korea.
I mean, I think it would be harder for me being female and all, but to dress up like Elvis and try to earn a living being Elvis, doing Elvis songs, that'd be fun.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anybody here that could pull it off. Even if you could sound like them, there's just too many differences. Because these guys dedicate themselves to it. Because there's just too, you could pick a different Elvis impersonator.
Well, what if I know that this is a stretch because I'm tall and a brunette, but what if I were like a Dolly Parton impersonator? That would be fun.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Dress up like that. Wear that big old wig.
Everybody loves Dolly, too.
Yeah.
It costs a fortune to look this trashy. That's the quote. I love that quote.
Well, if you were going to be an impersonator, who would you choose?
Oh, I think it's obvious. The guy that people actually mistake me for, which is weird. I think he's not only old enough to be my dad, I just don't think we look that much alike. And that would be Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
I would do a Chuck Norris thing.
Absolutely.
Kick people in the face at their birthday party.
Roundhouse kicks to the face.
Well, if you out there who are going to be the impersonator of someone, who would you choose? Elvis is an obvious choice, but Danny is going with Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Dolly Parton, even though I look nothing like her. If you were going to be the impersonator of someone, who would you choose? Call 800-252-1025 now.
You know, there's still some guy making a buck, and more than one guy, actually. It's a cottage industry being an Elvis impersonator, and I've seen Obama impersonators throughout the years and things like that. So the question to you out there is, if you had to be a professional impersonator of some famous dude, who would you choose? 1-800-252-1025.
Chuck Norris makes sense for you.
Yep.
I would like to be a Dolly Parton impersonator, and I only have two things in common with her.
What's that? Spunky personality.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, then in that case, Tori has those same two things. You got to be gigantic to be a Dolly Parton, although you're no. Man, I'm sorry, I see your point now.
He's trying to say you got a big set of pipes.
That's
That's
what she's
right.
saying.
Yeah, Jolene.
All right, well, maybe we'll
sounds just like
change
her.
our minds.
Mike in Sultan, who are you going to be the impersonator of?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Sticky Sexy Abaducci.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, I want to be an impersonator of Paul because with his farm and pigs, I could have all the bacon I could eat.
Ah,
So, if I'm getting this correct, what you want to do is you want to go farm, and that's your act. I don't really see how you're making a buck, but all right.
Yeah, free bacon, though.
Free bacon's
Yeah.
a fine one.
Silly me, I thought he wanted to impersonate Paul and just be snarky and negative and hang out with us all day.
Yep, that's kind of what I thought.
What about Richard calling from Federal Way? Who would you like to be the impersonator of?
Morning, guys.
Morning.
So I think it'd be cool to be Spike O'Neill for the day.
Tell me why.
Oh, he just gets to hang out with all the cool people, man. And, I mean, I could handle that beard for one day.
I don't think I'd want to wear Spike's beard for a day.
So, fair enough. So far, 2 out of 2 callers would like to impersonate someone that works here. I would
Yeah.
imagine the next caller is something totally new and different.
I would imagine so. Let's talk with Jake in Monroe.
Hey, Jake.
I would be impersonating Danny Bonagucci.
And I got to ask, and I'm nervous about this, but what would you do to impersonate me?
Well, I'd be singing and dancing, just like you would.
Oh, yeah, I'm often singing and dancing.
cute.
Singing,
Demanding
dancing.
a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Which, by the way, this guy, Bruckheimer, has a star on the Hollywood
Yeah.
Walk of
He
Fame.
does,
A
yeah.
little bitterly jealous about that.
Maybe when he comes in, you can ask him if you can like share it with him. If he'll
That's what
split.
Hey, Mr. Bruckheimer, guy
Yeah.
that brought you Top Gun, can I share your star? Can it say Jay Bruckheimer and some guy you've never met before in your whole life? I don't think that will work, Paul.
It's worth a shot.
We're asking, if you were going to be the impersonator of someone, who would you choose? An Elvis impersonator is running for office. The thing about Elvis that always cracks me up is it depends on which year Elvis you want to be.
Right.
You can be handsome, thin Elvis with like the slicked back hair and the black suit. You can be thin Elvis but still wearing like the white jumpsuit. Or you can just be fat Elvis and let yourself go.
Yeah, but that's when the jumpsuit got crazy because the belt and the jumpsuit was made to disguise his girth.
it
Yeah,
didn't.
poor Elvis.
So, Paul, who would you be the impersonator of?
So I would need to borrow some of Tori's eye makeup to make this work, but because of my round face and bald head, I think I could be an Uncle Fester impersonator from the Addams Family.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
I don't know if there's a lot of money in it, but I could certainly look the
That
part.
was my favorite thing when I was a kid. There was an Uncle Fester kit where you got to
Really?
do like really cool trick. You know, one of his tricks was he'd hold a light bulb in his
Yeah.
hand and it would light up.
Yeah.
And they sold a light bulb with this ring. And when the bottom of the light bulb hit the ring, the light went on. Oh, I
very cool.
loved that. It was
Wow.
awesome.
Do you still have it, man? I'm going to need that when I
Yeah.
start my career as an
I bought
Uncle
it when
Fester.
I bought it when I was 11. And it's in my room somewhere.
Well, speaking of makeup, Tori, I've seen some of your makeup jobs that you've posted to Facebook. Would you be Peter Gabriel?
Oh my gosh, I'd like to be Peter Gabriel. I think I could. But I was thinking more maybe Debbie Harry.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
And you'd get up on stage and like do the whole act?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Why not?
Uh-huh. Because I'm so good at singing.
Go ahead. We can
No,
hear it.
no,
We can
not
hear it.
happening.
Can you sing, Tori?
No.
Not even in the shower by yourself.
Yeah, by myself. To
Pretend
myself.
you're by yourself. Just do it
Yeah.
yourself.
Na, 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 na.
You should've
Pretend you're in
stuck
the
with no.
pretend you're in the shower because we're all pretending.
Oh, okay.
Derek, if you were going to be an impersonator, who would you choose?
Well, ever since I got my haircut last week, I have constantly had people coming up telling me I look exactly like Colin Farrell.
No, they don't.
Well, okay, to be fair, I've been telling myself I look like Colin Farrell.
Chop on you.
Yeah, you look like an Irish tax dodger.
Oh, amazing. All right, Jerry Bruckheimer, Tim Lewicki will be in studio next to talk about getting a hockey team here in Seattle.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
One of the big bosses of iHeartRadio, our new employer, walked in, didn't even say hi. threw a sweatshirt at me.
Yep.
And it says Seattle's hockey team.
Yeah.
Is that too over the top or should I put it on?
Put it on,
definitely
baby.
put it on.
Put it on. Yeah, put it
All
on.
right.
Well, this is extraordinarily cool. We're trying to get a hockey team here in Seattle, at which we will spare no expense. And helping us would be Jerry Bruckheimer and Tim Leiweke. Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you doing? Nice to have you. Before we even do anything, just really quickly, Mr. Bruckheimer, I want to thank you. Not kidding around. I had about 25 grand worth of dental work to do. Didn't have any insurance, and you booked me on CSI, covered me for 3 years. Thank you very much.
That's Jerry. He did it.
I'm sorry, yeah, Mr. Bruckheimer.
By the way, I need some dental work. Can I talk to you later?
You got to play a dead guy on CSI.
We do that for all our actors.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. All right, now, how is it that either one of you, Tim or Jerry, can help us, and how can we help you to get a hockey team here in Seattle?
Well, I think it's about getting the deposits. We have 10 o'clock. People can go online, get a deposit for season tickets. Be patient. Hopefully the line is really busy, but hang in there. We want to get as many as possible so the NHL looks at us and say, you deserve a team. Other sports leagues are going to look at this too. We know you're hurt for 10 years losing a terrific team.
Yeah.
And so we want to bring a winter sport back to this big market.
And the numbers matter this morning, how many people sign up.
Yeah, actually, so the amazing thing is we're treating it as a concert. So Ticketmaster's actually handing the on sale for us. So what we're doing is throwing the weight of Ticketmaster behind this. So we're going to get crushed, we think. A lot of people are saying they're jumping in.
Nice.
So they should be patient because like a concert, this will take a while. But our guess is that what we've seen out of Seattle, this is going to be an overwhelming success. And we not only send a great message back to the NHL and the 31 owners, they get to decide whether or not we get a franchise. But we think that the other leagues sitting here watching us as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this. Can you buy more than 2 seats? I mean, because we have something here that you guys may not have in Los Angeles, wherever you're from, Tim, and that would be Bill Gates and the likes. You can just buy this all up in an afternoon. Can people buy 20 seats, or do you have to just go for 2?
No, you can put down a deposit per seat for as many seats as you want. What we're going to do is reserve the right to come back and shrink it at a later date if we had to get more people in. So the goal here is this is the database, and these are our fans and our partners that will help us shape the team. So whether it's season tickets, mini season tickets, partial season ticket plans, or individual tickets, this is the database we'll go back to. And if we don't get a team, we refund the $500 per ticket. If you get seats and you don't like the seats that you're assigned, we'll refund the $500. We put everything in an escrow account and take all of the interest earned on the escrow account and donate it to charity.
Wow.
So we've already committed $20 million back to charities in Seattle as part of what we're doing here. That will be part of what we give back to the community to help those in need.
So no risk today when people make this deposit.
The only thing is a little bit of your time and hopefully a little bit of your patience. So when you go to NHLSeattle.com, you just have to be a little patient because we have about, we think, 100,000 people roughly that have already visited the site. And so we expect that it's going to be brisk. We may be doing something historical today. It took Seattle about 6 weeks. I think it took Vegas about 6 weeks. I think Seattle is going to do something really, really amazing.
All right, we're speaking with Jerry Bruckheimer and Tim Leiweke. And let me ask both of you gentlemen, anybody wants to answer, please do. Why Seattle? We live here. We want this thing now. It's very important to us. We fight over it. But neither of you gentlemen live here. Do you have roots in Seattle? Why Seattle is important to you?
Well, first of all, the league is in balance. They have too many teams in the East and not enough teams in the West. So there is a team available in the West. We want to bring that team to Seattle. It's a great market, great sports fans. Look what they do for the Sounders. Look what they do for the Seahawks. They deserve a winter sport. They deserve the best game in the world, the fastest game in the world, the best spectator sport there is, which is hockey. That's why we want you to sign up and get season tickets.
So this is Jerry Bruckheimer speaking. I mean, you are known for blockbuster movies and epic TV shows. Why hockey for you?
Well, my dad, when I was very young, took me to Red Wings games. I grew up in Detroit.
Nice.
I fell in love with the sport, played for about a year. Then when Wayne Gretzky came to Los Angeles, I started skating, took skating lessons. And unfortunately, I still need skating lessons. I'm not very good.
But you're still lacing up the skates, though, right?
Yeah, you actually play, right?
I'm still doing it poorly. You ever see a turtle on the ice? That's me.
Hey,
Good for you.
bring us Slapshot Part 3. Slapshot Part 1, if anybody hasn't seen it, it's like the all-time greatest movie of all time.
Oh, greatest,
Paul
one of the
Newman,
greatest
are you
sports
kidding?
movies
That's a
ever.
wonderful movie.
The Hanson brothers.
Yeah.
That's our fourth line.
All right, what about you, Tim? What is your reason for specifically Seattle?
So my brother was the president of Paul Allen Sports Holdings here. So he's actually the creative genius that came up with the 12th Man. He hired Pete Carroll in my backyard in Los Angeles.
Really?
And so,
Out of USC, right?
Out of USC. No, we did not tamper. And so we've had a long history here. I introduced Joe Raw to Adrian and my brother Todd to help the creation of the Sounders. So Seattle's always been in my blood. Your current arena is why we lost the basketball team. Your current arena is why we can't get a hockey team. So we're going to spend $600 million privately, no public dollars. We're going to go build a brand new arena. We're going to keep the roof of the old Key Arena because it's historic, 1962. But we're going to get you an arena that is twice the expense of Staples Center when we built Staples Center, believe it or not. You are currently 76th in the world for music at that arena.
Whoa.
Seattle's a top 10 town.
Yeah.
So the other thing we don't talk enough about, but here we can do it because you guys are our favorite music. Classic rock is what we're all about. We're going to bring great concerts. So Live Nation is a partner, and we think we're going to take this arena and make it one of the top 10 music buildings in the world. And we're spending about $20 million on acoustics in the new arena to make sure it sounds like either the Forum or Madison Square Garden. So you can't do this. It's in my life, 40 years in sports, winning Stanley Cups and NBA championships. We've never had an opportunity to go to the 12th largest marketplace, build a brand new arena, and start an expansion hockey team. That's never going to happen again. So we couldn't be more excited, especially because it's Seattle.
And Key Arena can't pay for itself without a team, can it? Because we're having the iHeart Music Awards in Los Angeles at the Forum. I saw Led Zeppelin there in 1975, but then it closed
The question
up.
is, do you remember it?
Yeah, not a shred. I got pictures. But the question is, the Forum must still pay for itself without any real team activities going on. Staples Center is the thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, so the Forum actually is owned by one of our partners, MSG, who owns a piece of OVG. So we're all kind of connected here. They do quite well. They do about 100 nights of music a year. It's amazing that we're doing 20 or 30 nights of music at Key Arena because the acoustics aren't great.
Oh.
So we're going to change that, and we're going to make sure that acoustically this building's perfect. So we just brought the Eagles up here at Safeco. That's one of the bands where we go back to them and talk to them all the time about acoustics. And believe it or not, Joe Walsh is a huge buff on feedback and reverb and where the guitar disappears.
Right.
So we have some of the best musicians in the world that are coaching us on.
Oh, that's
from
beautiful.
Macklemore to Pearl Jam to the Eagles, because everyone wants to see Seattle get a great arena because every musician loves coming to Seattle and playing here.
Well, I know I do. I know you do. I know Jerry Bruckheimer does.
That's a great
please,
plan.
You know, I just
Exciting.
can't let it seem like you walked in here and Sarah and I happen to be dressed alike. I'd like to point out that we are
I was
wearing.
going to ask, are you guys like this every day?
Well, we actually knitted these at home. But anyway, thank you so much for coming in, you guys.
Thanks
we
for
really
having
do
us.
appreciate it. We love, certainly, Mr. Bruckheimer, we love your work.
Danny, thank you for not bringing up to Jerry asking for another job for CSI.
Yeah, I want to go back
Yeah,
and
let me see the dental work.
They killed my character.
Let me
in
see the
first-
dental work. Okay, well, you're good. You're
Pirates
all
of the
right.
Caribbean,
It
maybe
You
works.
don't
roll
need
for the
any more,
douche
so you don't need another job. You're fine.
Thanks, you guys. We really appreciate
Thank
it.
you
Just
all.
an
Cheers.
hour and 30 minutes to be part of Seattle sports history. So go to NHLSeattle.com and get your season ticket deposit put down right now.
Thank you.
He's good.
Yes.
This traffic report is brought to you by Domino's. In Olympia on I-5 southbound as you approach Henderson Boulevard, there's an accident blocking the right lane. And in Seattle on I-90 eastbound as you approach West Mercer Way, the carpool lane is currently blocked due to an incident there as well. Domino's has an offer that you can't pass up. Order any large specialty pizza for $10.99 when you carry out today. Offer valid at participating Seattle area stores. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may apply. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by NHLSeattle.com. It's 39 in downtown Seattle under partly cloudy skies. We're looking at highs in the upper 40s, and we should be seeing sunshine throughout the day. The next great moment in Seattle sports history is about to happen, and this is one you won't want to miss. Submit a deposit for ticket priority to be an NHL seat holder today. Go to NHLSeattle.com and be part of Seattle's sports history. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
A dramatic police chase yesterday ended an afternoon of terror for Bainbridge Island school students. 2 students were sexually assaulted, and the third was a victim of voyeurism. The suspect was able to flee from police, and it prompted an island-wide lockdown of schools. The suspect hit a police car. Finally, they were able to spot this man who had fled after assault and voyeurism inside of the school.
You know, as you might know, I don't have a great track record with criminal activity, but I know, don't commit crimes on an island.
Yeah.
Where you going, man? We'll just wait.
This morning...
Oh, he took off that way. Oh, here he comes.
This morning, Portland-based Kroger announced it will stop selling guns and ammunition to customers who are younger than 21 years old. Kroger is joining Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart in making these firearm policy changes.
I've always thought it's weird that they sell guns and ammunition anyway. It's a primarily grocery store.
Right.
The Fred Meyers have, clothing and some home goods and stuff, but then they have a gun counter right there in your grocery store.
Yeah, the thing that I want to appreciate out of this is that these people don't have to. It's going to cost money, and everybody seems to be just doing the right thing, and I dig that because that's what change. Everybody's going, "How did America get like this?" Well, because we didn't do stuff like this. We didn't stand up when we could. I applaud these guys.
Well, Kroger also told CNN that they stopped selling assault-style rifles in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho stores several years ago, and that now they're just joining in on that 21 and up,
Right.
which I don't know who's arguing against it at this point.
Tons of people, to my shock and dismay, tons of people are arguing against that.
It's only we're just now into the 3rd month of 2018, but Seattle,
I know what that means. Oh. Is that not,
I don't know,
that's
that
not
might
one?
be. What does it mean?
Well, Seattle has been leading the country's real estate market in year-over-year gains for a record-tying 17 months now.
Wow.
And this is another month of 12.7% increases year after year.
I am applauding again. I'm applauding Kroger, and I'm applauding my house.
Elon Musk, we talked about him putting that Tesla Roadster out into space.
Yeah.
We thought it was pretty spectacular.
Aside from his wacky accent and a little bit of his face, that guy is awesome.
Well, the feedback has been positive for the most part. Like when we saw the camera and saw that Tesla floating around outer space, we were all like, that's so cool. Well, now some scientists are saying it's a biothreat. The Tesla is in large orbit around the sun, and while it is unlikely to get too close to Mars, if it does, it could have contaminants that could wipe out indigenous life on Mars if it exists.
Shut up.
The chances are just
it's
too
gonna
slim.
it's gonna wipe out life on Mars, is it? Is that what's gonna happen?
If it
Indigenous
exists,
life.
if there is life on Mars.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm not sure how much of an actual functioning car that is.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's it was built, it was made, and in that making process, there are contaminants. Just like everything. They're
Sure.
on our clothing.
Yeah, but I mean,
Smallpox.
they built it here on
Smallpox.
Earth with us. How bad's the contamination? It was built next door. People work there. So
Yeah, but
shut up.
But we don't live on Mars.
Yeah, people who live on Mars don't necessarily haven't been exposed to the same things we've been exposed to. All right. Maybe when I start with people who live on Mars, I can see why you're going to give me that look.
Okay.
That's what this guy's saying.
Well, this guy's somebody. We were just saying who's yelling about not selling guns to people under 21. And I said tons of people. There are tons of people being a big pain in the butt. They're going, hey, what about because they're finding microbes and stuff on Mars. There's a lot of frozen tundra up there. So somebody has some kind of point about there's some kind of life. But I repeat, I don't usually repeat myself, but I will. I actually nicked this thing a little bit.
Yeah, it's gross.
Residents of
It's like Spike. Don't you want to know how I know? Too late, you didn't ask.
Residents of a Florida resort say they are having problems with their substitute mail carrier because that mail carrier is refusing to deliver their packages. So your regular mail person, mail carrier, if they go on vacation, someone else steps up and delivers the mail. But in Florida, this is the Eden RV Resort and City Retreat. They are nudists.
Yeah, actually, I just saw something about them not 3 weeks ago in the news.
Well, they are getting a little upset that the U.S. Postal Service is not delivering packages to their door, that they are leaving them in like a general area. And the Postal Service says there's nothing wrong with that, that's up to code as far as we're concerned. They're not leaving it in their car. They're not taking it home.
Right.
They're leaving it in like the general office of this nudist retreat instead of taking it to their door.
He feels uncomfortable around the naked people's packages. Is that what he's saying?
Yep.
Is it because they're 75 years old and big and fat, sloppy?
A woman in Nevada went to a playground where there were hundreds of children playing and did something a little bit unusual. Kistel Killa was carrying a pickaxe.
Kista Killa?
Kista
Is that a real name or is that a rap name?
No, that's her name, right? That's her name. Kistel, like crystal, but her parents didn't know how to spell.
Right.
Kistel Killa, age 33, carried a pickaxe, went up to the playground, climbed a chain link fence, entered the playground, and then chased the kids around, shouting she was gonna kill them all.
Well, that seems odd. That's fairly odd behavior.
She was taken into custody. They are gonna try to see if she was maybe on something.
PCP is my call.
Kistel Killa. They said she was definitely mentally impaired. They're just not sure why.
You know, you got to be careful these days. That's weird to even say these days. Running around with a pickaxe saying you're going to kill anybody?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Well, no, but you get shot.
Yeah.
It seems. You read in the newspaper, women with a knife getting shot dead. I don't want to get into it, but the lady with 2 knives, that would scare the hell out of me. Girl or not girl. You have 2 knives, it looks to me like you mean business.
So Kista Killa's new EP drops later this month.
Though her plane remains missing, Amelia Earhart's vintage car that was reported stolen has now been found. The car had
Amelia Earhart had a vintage car?
I guess she just had a car.
But now it's a vintage car.
The vehicle is worth a lot of dough. This is a 1932 Hudson Essex Terraplane.
Yeah.
One of 14 models known to exist. It's worth between $250,000 and $500,000. Most of these vehicles were melted down for their metal in World War II. Hers survived.
Shooting some Nazi with a Packard? That's crazy, man.
Well, somebody stole this car, and it's pretty hard to pass one off as your own. So they did wind up retrieving it. It was in Los Angeles. Somebody had seen it on the local TV news and reported it to the cops.
Said it's right over here?
Yep.
Bob's got it? All right.
Yep. And they don't know who stole it, but whoever it was realized, oh, heck, I'm going to get busted.
Yeah.
Because you can't, where are you going to sell that to?
I'm going to go with, I would go with a chic. That's what I would do. Now you got to get it to the guy.
Well, Walmart is getting praise from many for their new policy on not selling ammunition and guns to people under 21. However, they are...
Walmart jumped on board, right?
Walmart.
Right.
However, they are facing criticism for selling a product that once again misrepresents the state of Maryland. So a couple years ago, they did this. They had University of Maryland T-shirts, and it was supposed to be the outline of the state. It wasn't. It was Massachusetts.
Well, that's bad right there.
Whoops.
Well, they have done it again. They're selling a product in the shape of Maryland. It's nothing like the shape of Maryland.
Nothing like Maryland?
It looks like Maryland cut in half and squished and elongated.
Or nothing like Maryland, apparently.
Second time, they're trying to figure out who the heck is in charge and why don't they know what Maryland looks like.
Right.
I mean, I've got this really cool cutout of Washington, and it's meant to hold beer caps from all over the state of Washington.
The state, okay.
It's a very recognizable shape.
Yeah, I'd recognize that in a minute.
And so if they put out a T-shirt of misrepresenting Washington, we'd all be up in arms.
And if I were doing a jigsaw puzzle of the United States of America, and it doesn't include Canada, it's got one flat thing, and then a corner, and then a doohickey.
Yes.
You get that immediately.
Yep.
Maryland's weird looking though. Like it's got to be hard to fit on things because it's really skinny across the top and then gets bigger on the right side. Like, what are you going to put that on that's not going to look weird?
Well, in this case, it was a T-shirt.
Yeah.
They're going to have to recall them.
No, I see the guy's point. Let's make it look a little nicer and maybe we'll sell some more T-shirts.
Right.
Buffalo, New York, not someplace you think of as a big vacation destination.
No, that's the truest thing you have ever said.
Well, they would like to change that.
Yeah.
Buffalo, New York said they are working with the tourism board and have cooked up a new way to explore and to get people to visit as a travel destination. Buffalo Niagara has a new plan. It's the Buffalo Wing Trail. So you go and visit Buffalo, go to Niagara,
right,
and then you get to go on a tour of buffalo wing destinations, including the home of the original buffalo wings.
There's a fight about that, which there's two of them up there that claim it, and they actually have supporters.
The most...
One's some lady, and I believe her the most.
Yeah, the story goes, in 1964, the Anchor Bar...
Right.
Hungry friends of Dominic Belliciamo were attending bar. They showed up for a late night snack. Dominic's mama, Teresa, had chicken wings she was planning to make soup with and decided to make them, fry them, toss them in hot sauce, and serve them. Thus, the buffalo wing was born.
The celery and blue cheese or ranch or whatever. Yeah.
And they said that despite objections, they will have blue cheese and ranch for people to fight over.
If I'm, because I was thinking as you were telling me the story that I'd go. That's the kind of thing I would do.
Yeah.
And I went, but all the way across country and it's in Buffalo. I would just go to Wingstop and
Exactly,
support, what's his face?
Yeah.
Sherman.
Peoria police have arrested 2 suspects. They were arrested in quite unusual fashion. Police say officers approached a suspicious car at a gas station. When they approached, the car then sped away from the gas station and went up to, tried to get away from the cops. It's dark out. And they pull up in front of a building and park and think the cops aren't going to see us here. Well, guess what that building was?
I don't know what.
The police precinct.
Well, they're probably going to see you there.
The man tried to run away. The female tried to hide under a bench in a secured area. And they just turned on the lights and said, "Lady, you're at the police station."
Hey, lady.
Just come on inside. Well, I know Tori is a big fan. And I know a lot of people listening are. The Shamrock Shake is back.
Yeah.
Now, this is back at participating McDonald's locations. Just like Danny and Paul with your...
the McRib.
McRib.
Bring it on. What's wrong with you?
And that's come back twice, but not come anywhere near us. So I'm a
I would
little mad
like
at them right
Jerry
now.
Bruckheimer and Tim Lywicki to come back in this room and tell us how to get a hockey team and a McRib.
Where do we put down our season ticket deposit for the McRib?
For the McRib.
Well, they offer this with the McRib, which is definitely more like Sasquatch, a lot harder to find. But they have now put out a Shamrock Shake Finder app. So, Tori loves the Shamrock Shake. So if she wants to find one, she just puts the app on her phone.
I'm doing it right now.
And then it'll tell you.
Me too, but then I'm going to have a Shamrock Shake.
Yum.
It'll tell you all the different locations. I think she's
Stop
talking
your
about Shamrock
response,
Shake.
little Tori.
It'll tell you where you can find the Shamrock Shakes, the McDonald's closest to you. Because they're limited time. It's out for St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
The problem is when you get there, the employees are going to lie to you and say the shake machine's broken.
Right.
Why do they do that?
Because they don't want to clean it. They're
Yeah.
lazy bastards.
Lazy bastards.
It's within a certain couple of hours before closing. They clean the machine, and then they don't want to use it again because otherwise they'll have to clean it.
We should go pick it.
You guys remember KFC in the UK ruffled feathers when they ran out of chicken?
Yeah, people were calling 9 whatever they call over there.
999 or something.
They ran out of chicken, and now, well, the good news is the chicken's back. The bad news is they've run out of gravy.
No gravy? That's crazy.
What is wrong with the UK's KFC? Oh, it's too many letters.
And they're international. What number do you call if there's no chicken in Germany? I'll tell you. 9! Call that.
Oh, that's the news, but we will be back with music news,
Yeah.
entertainment, and sports. We'll also be telling you more about getting those hockey tickets and telling you what new music is coming out this week, all next.
This traffic report is brought to you by Aer Lingus. On I-5 northbound at the Boeing Access Road, we do have an accident currently blocking the right lane. And on I-5 southbound at Seneca Street, there's an earlier accident that has been cleared. Still seeing some stop-and-go traffic, about a 20-minute delay. And on I-90 eastbound, as you approach West Mercer Way, you're also going to see a little bit of stop-and-go traffic there as well. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.airlingus.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Spring is almost here. That means the days are about to get longer, and you're going to probably stay up late trying to take advantage of the great spring weather we get in Seattle. Well, that's why right now it's even more important that you're getting a full, good night's sleep. And the way to do that is by getting rid of your old sad pillow and replacing it with My Pillow. My Pillow is the best pillow out there. It is hands down the best pillow I have ever slept on. And something else that's great about it, you can throw it in your washer and dryer and it's like new again. Try doing that with your old stinky pillow you got right now and see what happens. Chances are it's going to break up and ruin your washing machine. My Pillow stays fluffed up and comfortable. You're going to love it. And you're going to love this deal. It's the 4-pack special. You can get 50% off if you use my promo code KZOK. 2 My Pillow premium pillows, 2 Go Anywhere My Pillows half off with promo code KZOK. Call 800-304-4756. That's 800-304-4756 or mypillow.com with promo code KZOK. In music news, Showtime are working on a documentary about Stone Temple Pilots and the late Scott Weiland. Now, the people working on this project said not a lot has been done about the band, and it's a compelling story. They formed in 1989. They broke through in 1992 with their debut album Core, which was amazing. 4 more albums before breaking up, reforming, and then, of course, a few years later, the death of Scott Weiland. So they've
Yeah, and he was in Velvet Revolver, right? I get the revolving singers of that band confused. I'm right about that, aren't I?
He went to Velvet Revolver. Linkin Park singer Chester Bennington eventually went to Stone Temple Pilots. And now Stone Temple Pilots have a new lead singer and an album coming out on March 16th.
Scott Weiland had what I thought was an interesting reality show that went nowhere. And it was, I forget what it was, but the title implied what the show was, which is that he was a pretty regular guy when he wasn't touring with his rock band. He mowed his own lawn with a non-even power mower, with a push mower. He was refinishing a table when the MTV people came for a meeting and doing fixed furniture and stuff. Who knew that?
Yeah.
But there was also another side to him, obviously.
Well, and thanks to this documentary, we will learn a lot more about the ins and outs of Stone Temple Pilots. So, as I said, they're going to be releasing a new album with their new lead singer on March 16th. Now, we know that new music comes out on Fridays. And to give us a look at what's coming out this week, we're going to talk to Tori, because we've got some really amazing classic rock re-releases, deluxe editions, and that's what Tori's forte is. She writes about it on our website. So, Tori, give us a peek at what's coming out tomorrow.
All right, so 60s icon Joan Baez is releasing a covers album, and this is called Whistle Down the Wind.
Okay, tell me this is not going to be like Frank Sinatra covers like Bob Dylan did?
Sadly not, but it's going to feature songs from artists like Tom Waits, which is pretty good. It's actually really beautiful. If you can get past the kind of political undertones, it's really, really good.
Oh, what are the political undertones?
It just kind of sounds... I don't know. It's just it's preaching her opinion on the world and the state that we're in right now.
Just quick, though, I don't understand. Does she speak? Does she say, hey, you guys don't buy guns, love not war?
No, she doesn't. It's just the songs that she chose. She chose Last Leaf by Tom Waits. Obviously, the title track is Whistle in the Wind, which is also Tom Waits. But yeah, it's beautiful.
She's got a bio book out, or whatever they're called, and pretty good. It's pretty good.
She was actually inducted into the Hall of Fame last year, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so that sounds cool. Isn't there also something from Randy Bachman coming out this week?
Yes, from Bachman Turner Overdrive. It's called By George, by Bachman, and it's a tribute to George Harrison.
No way!
Yes, that was his mentor and hero.
I had no idea.
I had no idea.
Yep.
By George! That's how I say it.
It's got songs on it like Here Comes the Sun, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. It's kind of crazy, though, because...
It?
Yes. Here. I think what I respect about it is that it doesn't really sound like the Beatles.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't sound like the Beatles.
It's like you're gonna either love it or hate it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
I'm gonna hate it.
Hating.
And Neil Young also has a re-release or something new?
Yes, Krabby Neil Young. He's gonna re-release his classic 1972 album Harvest.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
It's so good. You got Old Man, Heart of Gold, The Needle and the Damage It's Done. Did you know that Linda Ronstadt and James Taylor are on this?
I had no idea.
How cool is that? And all the backing vocals are obviously Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
That part I knew. I had no idea those other ones were on there.
Yeah.
And no Daryl Hannah, thankfully.
No Daryl Hannah.
Oh, your favorite Danny, right? Yeah, so you really can't go wrong with this one.
All right, anything else?
Yes, up at KZOK.com, there's going to be a whole list of other releases.
Awesome. Thank you, Tori.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tori.
No problem.
Well, in some entertainment news, 90s nostalgia continues to be red hot. It looks like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air will be returning.
He's not very fresh anymore.
Well, with a twist. The Fresh Princess of Bel-Air.
Same character. He just identifies as a girl.
Will Smith in a dress. Now, this is going to be just a different spin, a different take, but same story. And they've already started to trademark Fresh Princess merchandise, backpacks, clothing, shoes, all that stuff.
As if he needed more dough. You know that Will Smith's going to get paid for this.
Is he going to be in it? Is he going to play Uncle Phil?
Oh, that's a great idea. You should call them and let them know.
Well, I'll give him a ring.
I think it's an entirely new show, but hear what you're hearing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all based on blah, 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 blah. And then my mom got scared. They're going to call me Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's it. Then they wrote the show. Any show that comes from that show is also going to pay Will.
Sure.
Good on you.
Yeah. Netflix announced that it will spend more than $8 billion on 700 original TV shows and movies this year.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of content.
I'm going to write another show.
700. Well, Danny, you've talked about a couple ideas you've had for shows, and Netflix seems to be the place to take them.
Place to go.
They've got about 120 million subscribers globally and more non-subscribers, and they said this is just still a huge opportunity. A lot of stuff to watch.
How do you have time for 700 shows or movies or whatever?
I don't know. Ask Danny.
I watch them all.
How many different shows do you think you watch, let's say in a year? 6, right?
36,000.
Oh, okay. All right.
I watch a lot of
stand
different
corrected.
shows, but not 700. Disneyland.
Yeah, I'm going there. I'm going there tomorrow.
I know what that means. Wait, you're going there tomorrow. That's what it means.
Giant turkey leg, biatch. That's what it means.
Disneyland fans are about to get a double dose of excitement with the park's newest announcement, a tropical hideaway experience. You might need to plan another trip to Disney. The theme park in Anaheim has revealed an all-new exotic destination is headed to Adventureland, complete with a trader's market, sounds, flavors of the tropics, a one-of-a-kind destination.
A bar?
There's
Pina
going
coladas?
to be Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. That
that
sounds
sounds like a
Pina
bar.
coladas.
Yeah.
It's so funny that I'm so consumed with this. I haven't had a drink in 7 years. Yeah, the first thing I want to know is there a bar?
They said that this is a new announcement, so we don't have a date yet on when this is going to be opening, but something new, and this will be in the spot of the former Aladdin's Oasis.
Oh, good. All right.
Wherever that is.
You know what they're doing now, and they're doubling down on real estate, how much they need? They're adding a Frozen from the movie Frozen, a whole land of that at the Walt Disney World, I believe, in Florida.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's
Who's
popular.
going to that?
A lot of little girls and boys. MTV announced they are renewing Jersey Shore Family Vacation for a second season. This has got Dina, Cortez, Pauly D, JWoww, Vinny, Ronnie, Snooki,
And the first season's already aired?
Well, I can't believe you haven't watched it.
I haven't been watched. That's one of the 700 shows I haven't gotten to.
No, season 1 takes place in Miami, and it will be premiering on April 5th.
Oh, okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Did I just say it's premiering in Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're on vacation, leaving the shore. Okay, I just answered my own question.
Cool.
Never mind, I don't need you
She
people.
didn't even get us.
They went further down the shore.
Yeah. Dennis Leary has joined the cast of the drama Animal Kingdom for season 3. This is on TNT. I've heard good things about it. I've not watched it. This stars Ellen Barkin.
Oh, that show's actually really good. I
You
have
do
seen
watch.
that one, yeah.
I'm very proud of Ellen Barkin. She is, from the day one in her career, she's a seriously odd-looking human being
is.
and pulled it off.
Yep.
She's doing great.
She's kind of beautiful and kind of super not.
It's like if somebody took a beautiful person and then hit him in the face with a mallet real hard.
Yeah.
That's kind of what.
Well, Dennis Leary announced he will be joining Animal Kingdom for season 3, and he's been in a lot of stuff. He's a decent actor. His face now looks like somebody might have hit him with a mallet
Oh, really?
a couple of times.
God, I haven't seen him in forever.
That show's very Sons of Anarchy, but they're surfers instead of bikers.
Seriously.
It's a good show. You should watch
Oh, I know that show. It looks great.
Yeah, it's
if you're
actually
into
really
that kind of thing, it looks great.
Okay, I thought it was like supernatural, and they turned into animals.
I thought it was animals.
It's a family of surfers that do robberies and stuff together.
Oh my gosh!
We
I
surf and do
so
crimes, pal.
Yeah.
No clue what
That's
that
by
was
Dennis
about.
Leary.
Wow.
Unless
Right.
I'm thinking of an entirely different show, which is possible,
Then,
but
yeah,
I think I'm right.
We just look stupid then, but I don't think so.
So we were just talking about all the new music that is in stores. That is up at KZOK.com. So is Tori's Turntable. And so is a brand new beer blog from me. I went to Holy Mountain Brewing Company, which is just a few doors down from here. Had some spectacular beer, and you can see that up right now at KZOK.com. A new beer blog gets posted each week thanks to my friends at 210 Brewing Company at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. I love those guys. I'm upset that I did not know they just had the Elvis impersonator.
Yeah, they had the Elvis impersonator.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Ah, you got to pay attention.
I do. The iHeartRadio Music Awards are a week from Sunday, live from the Forum in Los Angeles, and KZOK wants to send you there on us. You're listening for the new keyword and your cue to text, and you could win airfare, deluxe hotel accommodations, and tickets to the show. If you're interested in buying them, they are on sale now through Ticketmaster.
True.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUIOA, 1-800-DUIOA. Earlier in the show, just about an hour ago, we had special guests here.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Jerry Bruckheimer and Tim Lewicki here to talk about hockey because we are now 45 minutes away from the on sale for the season tickets.
I wonder how much we'll do in how fast.
I know, and
lot of hope.
there's competition between us and Las Vegas. We got to do it faster, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Is that what it is? We have to show more. Not just we have to show that we can support a team. We have to show more support than Vegas.
Certainly makes it look, well, if they showed that much support and they got a team, and we did it twice as fast, then why wouldn't they give us a team right now?
I like your thinking.
Yeah.
If people come out in full force, then yeah, I think they'd be more inclined to give us our team in 2 years.
They told us too. They've already had 100,000 people on the website, so that unique visitors to the website, so they know that there's people checking it out.
Wow. Well, we'll have that video up at KZOK.com. Tori will post all of that. But for people who want to buy the tickets, where do they go?
NHLSeattle.com. And yeah, 45 minutes and 23 seconds.
Thank
you
you.
can
man.
get your season tickets.
In Mariners news, they lost yesterday to the Indians 4-2, but are just 3 hours away from their next game where they will be playing the Royals. Now, we are all headed to Safeco Field.
There we are.
1 week from Sunday.
Yeah.
Whiskey rocks.
Whiskey rocks.
Whiskey rocks.
You don't need to do that.
It does rock.
It does.
Yeah. And this event rocks too.
I'm really excited. We are working in a new building with a lot of fresh faces, and so many people have asked me, like, well, is it fun? Are we actually going to have a good time there? Like, hell yeah.
Oh, Whiskey Rock? Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have several bands performing. We're going to have food. There's 100 whiskeys and bourbons from all around the world. The entire show will be there. Get your tickets now before they sell out like they did last year. WhiskeyRocksNW.com. We do have some Sounders action. CONCACAF League matchup against Santa Tecla, 7 o'clock CenturyLink Field tonight. The MLS season starts, however, Sunday, 2 p.m., CenturyLink Field. Now, if you're around Key Arena later on, you are going to notice a lot of action, and that's because it's the 2018 Pac-12 Women's Basketball Tournament. It starts today, takes place throughout the weekend, and UW is playing Cal, WSU, USC. If they win, they go on to the next round. Tonight, UW versus Oregon State for the men, and then WSU versus Oregon happens tonight as well. A lot of people this morning talking about Patriots owner Robert Kraft.
Yeah.
There was a big story out. The New York Post said that he has revealed the truth.
You are not the father.
What?
He is not the father of his girlfriend.
He didn't actually go on Maury, right? Like, that's not how they put out a press release or something. Right?
That would have been epic.
Moore had been thrilled.
Well, there was so much speculation that the Patriots did put out a press release. Said last fall, Ricky Noelle Lander became the proud mother of a healthy, beautiful baby boy. While Robert Kraft is not the biological father, he is thrilled with Ricky's blessing of having a healthy child. With respect to the family, we will not comment any further.
He's thrilled with Nikki's blessing.
Yeah, the babies are a blessing.
Oh, I thought she was giving him permission to do something. Well, yeah, my blessing. Okay, right.
So what it seems to me is that these two were on again, off again. While they were off again, she had relations with somebody else and got pregnant, had a baby, and now they have gotten back together.
And he's thrilled about it.
With the blessing.
And I think he was on again, off again a couple times, obviously.
What a weird thing for them to put an official press release out. You'd think it'd just be they'd ignore the questions and say, we don't do gossip. But you actually put out an official press release saying he's not the daddy.
Well, I guess you couldn't, they didn't want to address it at all. And then when she's seen all around town with some baby, everyone assumed it was his.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he wanted to set the record straight.
Yeah, well, that was nice. I don't know why he needed to. Yeah. But although, there could have been financial things that we talked about this yesterday. If you accept the responsibilities of the father for whatever amount of time, you can end up the legal dad of that kid.
And I would imagine his bio kids are probably a little concerned about that. And that
Yeah, but he can tell them personally. He doesn't have to issue a press release.
One of the main reasons I wanted to have a child with Amy was, of course, to love it and cherish it.
it would be a blessing.
But
Yada,
also,
yada.
I wanted to look at my kids and go, I'm leaving everything to the new kid. I just totally wanted to do that. I thought that sounded like fun.
Are so evil.
And then I would forgive them for whatever they did. I'm sorry. Everybody's back in the will. And then a year later, yeah, you're out. It's all going to Steve, my new kid.
Whose name is not going to be Steve.
You know that band New Kids on the Block? Well, I got one. He gets everything.
Wow. This Sunday from noon to 2. Let me start over.
All right.
This Sunday from noon till 2, I will be at the Northgate Cricket Wireless Store again. Come on in and say hello. The United Way will once again be on site helping people prepare and file their taxes for free. It's the Northgate Cricket Wireless Store, noon till 2 on Sunday. And this is 829 Northeast North Gateway. I will be hanging out helping people.
I like me some cricket. Well, although one time I got a sticky wicket. It's actually a cricket reference.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing. Did you know that?
A sticky wicket?
You can get a sticky wicket.
I, for some reason, thought that was croquet.
Yeah, that too. No.
Because I play croquet. Not
As often as I play cricket. Oh, you'll be out there what time?
Noon till 2 on Sunday.
right,
Do you think we could play cricket? Like, is there a place that we could go play cricket?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure
any
cricket
park.
grounds.
You need the same room as a baseball field.
Yeah.
Not even. Nobody hits home runs with cricket, do you?
But
You don't hit for distance ever.
no, I think you do.
They hit pretty hard. Yeah, they hit it pretty far. Not like over the fence.
Yeah.
Not as far as baseball.
Okay, so we don't need as much room as you need for baseball.
Okay, but if we're going to play, then we need somebody to teach us, since clearly none of us know how.
I'm in to be a rating on the parader, but aren't we all taking curling lessons?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
That's a thing we said. Yeah.
And then
we
we're
have a
going to
lot
go
of
play
time.
croquet over in Green Lake.
And then have a sticky wicket.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd just wash it. Your wicket, it's all sticky.
You know who loves to hit the bat?
I do. His actual nickname before it was Silver Fox.
Yeah?
Was Sticky.
Sticky.
Not Wicket, just Sticky.
Sticky
The guy walking in and
Steve.
say, "Hey, Sticky." Anyway, no matter how you call it, the Silver Fox is my favorite. Is Steve Slade. He's going to walk in this room. He's going to play classic rock and roll for you because he was born for that job. So we'll get out of his way. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by Sherry's Restaurants. In Federal Way on I-5 northbound near Highway 18, we have an accident currently blocking the shoulder. And in Seattle on I-5 northbound, you're going to see some stop-and-go traffic as you make your way between Albro Place and James Street. Sherry's Springberry Pancakes are here. Choose from blueberry, raspberry, or triple berry toppings with whipped cream and powdered sugar on a stack of fresh, fluffy buttermilk pancakes for just $6.99. Add eggs, breakfast meat, and hash browns for $3 more. Sherry's, simply great food. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Aer Lingus. It is currently 39 in Seattle right now under partly cloudy skies. We're looking at highs in the mid to upper 40s, and we should be seeing sunshine all day. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.aerlingus.com. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.